but that was dangerous.
Do you remember the old phones where you had to if you wanted a fancy ringtone, you had to go to the store and spend $1 to get a fancy ringtone? And Snake was about the funnest game you could do on it.
I just remember having the flip phone. It was on my parents' plan. They were paying for it while I was in college because they really wanted me to have a cell phone. And I checked the weather on it one time, and I get a call from my mom. She's like, "What did you do on your phone?" And I'm just like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "We have an internet charge." Because it costs, I connected to the internet technically to check the weather on the flip phone, or so, however that worked. And she got an extra charge because I was like, "Look," I was so excited too. I was like, "Look, my phone says it's this many degrees and it's going to be cloudy today."
How much was the internet charge?
I don't know, enough for her to call me about it.
If she didn't have it on there at all before, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, people. Hello, Pete, Kite, and Edward. Where's my skip ad button? Sorry, I thought I disabled ads. I think it's disabled for most things. But I think Twitch kind of requires ads to a degree. But I have the option to increase the number of ads, and I'm like, no. Because revenue-wise, I think I made so far this year like 50 cents on ad revenue. It's not worth it. Thank you, Edward. I did not
for the derpies.
That. I might need a poke at that later.
I sell the derpies. It's good derpies.
Oh, you know what? I probably am not hearing it because... Is it fed...
That might be a good title for this video. Horse noises.
Actually, that's a pretty good one. The file's just called Cliche right now because I didn't know what to name it.
Yeah.
But most of the videos I make have one name for the file beforehand. Like Remembrance was called Awaken for a year before I even got that one locked down.
Was that my phone?
Yes, it was. That's actually a fun thing on. Kind of curious on some of the other ones, like the old names. It's usually whatever I call the save file. Like Applejack 2.0 was Applejack Horn. Applejack is a tractor. Applejack Tractor. Oh, some of those aren't that creative. I love the November 2nd, 2021. That's a very creative name. Australia was straightforward. Flight in 2D Steps is just called Fly Twy.
I like that.
I like Fly Twy. Rover's Demise, Cozy TF2. I don't even know what that.
Why?
Oh, because it was TF2 voice.
All right.
MLP Box Cane.
That's what
for Harmony's Gift. That was a long ago one. Of course, I press the media button, stop music, and it paused the stream. When I hit the play button of the stream, it played it through the ad again. Yeah. Start your own company, make the advertisement of Pony Animation. They convince the CEO of Twitch to make it the only ad that plays on your streams. If you did, you would have to pay for ads, and ads are kind of expensive to run. Let me switch over here. There we go. Hello. Because I think on average, like on a longer video, you're going to get on ad revenue wise about $2 per. You're going to get about $2 per 1,000 video views, maybe on a longer video. And the creator gets about 55%. So let's just round that and say double that, which means if I wanted to have an ad placed on 4 or on 1,000 different views, which isn't really that much for YouTube, you're talking like probably $5 with taxes and stuff per 1,000 views to pay. That gets expensive real quick. So, music felt quiet. Let me turn it up. I played this audio before. That's a little better.
Good stuff.
And you don't have to make your own company to do advertisement stuff. You can, at least for YouTube, I can actually go to YouTube right now and buy ad placements for my channel, and it will advertise my channel to other channels. That is a thing. So it's just not worth the price, especially since it's probably going to most of it's going to go to channels that don't matter.
If you target advertise like some of these companies.
Yeah, but I don't like utilizing something that I actively shut off on most things. Like I was watching some stuff. They're talking about even smart TVs, like I have for this one. Most of them default on to sell your data, and they even have an option there. Can we sell your data? It's defaulted to on, and I went and immediately shut off and removed my pre-approved. What do they call that? User agreements. They have a bunch of user agreements, and they're all checked saying I agree. And I'm like, nope. And I shut them all off.
But imagine a scenario in which you're like in a horrible crash, and the only person close enough to find you and save you is Jeff Bezos.
Oh.
And he's like, where is he? And then he's like, did he turn off his tracking so I couldn't find him? Oh no.
Is this like Predator or something where if you it's not about not moving, but if you just disable the button you can't see him?
Yes. Just have Jeff Bezos in the trees trying to scan for your location via your cell phone.
Convince the CEO of Twitch to the Pony Way, then convince them to do it for free. The planets will prove. That sounds like a lot of work that would probably be more expensive to even finish. Spending millions of dollars to brainwash the CEO just so I can save $5. Anyways, hello, happy Friday. I did poke at this a little bit this week. I don't know, I just felt like poking on some SFM stuff. So I did finish off this shot completely.
Darling.
So that one's all marked done, and I think I poked at something else, but yes. I think I did some cleanup. So these shots originally had a lot of their models stretching out further. I did all the cleanup on my own. I did a couple. Oh, I guess I only did that shot. This one also had all of it, so I did a lot of that cleanup. So, just to get that started. So, face.
Their mouths are so much more rounder on these models. I think that's the thing I like the most.
She's happy. She's
Oh man. Favorite thing in the whole world. That's creepy.
No, I love that cat is one of my favorite memes.
Yes. Oh, what does that mean? Is that like from back in the late 90s days of internet memes?
I bet you it's not that old.
Is it like Pop Cat and Peanut Butter Jelly Time?
I don't think it was all that old. Where's Know Your Meme? There it is.
They keep track of these things for some reason. October 10th. What year though?
October 10th of what? Oh.
2020. It's only 2 years old?
Yeah.
Very cool. That was all it was.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Or something like that. But it's an amazing video.
It's not even a video.
It is.
It's just a GIF.
It's got audio. It goes.
So it's a GIF with audio.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is the original.
No. It's a cat.
Well, I don't know how the other image came about. Where's he when he does the smile at some point? Where's the smile? I don't even see the smile.
His face doesn't open up super wide at all.
Yeah, where is he? What is he trying to consume the universe?
Yeah.
I'm disappointed now. That's not a real cat.
No.
Morris Van Ponies, I see. Yes, for sure. Hello, Weasel. So yeah, so I think. I'm not on there.
So if you want to interact with the video, you just touch your screen and boop Rainbow Dash. So, interactive video.
That's funny. All right, so we did this a little bit. Oh yeah, I guess this is red because we did get it locked in.
Awesome.
Pinky, I don't think is.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's not usable right now. If thinking about balance, in just Pinky in general, if she's lifting her arm like that, she's not going to just come down like this. She's going to probably you have to change your body and readjust your body weight by when that something like that happens. So I need to readjust her body weight. So,
hello, sunset.
Yes. Hello, sunset. You want me to boot RD? Can I get my steel toes? No, she's doing fine. She's look, she's dancing. She's
dancing.
Yep. She definitely did.
It's gonna be 3 hours of this, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready.
So I'm just gonna grab Pinky here. We need to. So if I had to take a guess what Pinky would do when she's waving, is she would be slightly forward and probably like with her arm, like she's trying to stretch it high. So we're gonna do that, and she probably have a little bit of body movement. That's a little harder to do. I might do that, and like I probably won't even bother with that. It's just it would add a lot of time to try to make her whole body wiggle without a rig. So we're going to lock the legs that matter. We'll just move her a little bit forward, a little bit up like this, and that'll be it for the back legs. I'm not so sure, but I can. I do a round of murder trivia tomorrow. We could try. Well, normally, there at least lately, we've had a couple of free spots anyway. So we should be able to get you in there at some point. There's definitely going to be murder trivia tomorrow. We're playing Jackbox. I'm not going to kill anybody.
I'm happy to know this.
Well, yeah, because if I had to, I'd definitely be with the person closest to me.
This is how I'm finding out we're doing trivia party tomorrow.
It's the second Saturday. It's been like that for a year.
I don't know. I don't keep up with days.
I have it scheduled on Discord. I mentioned it at the end of stream last time.
I believe you.
I did just ask him about something from the podcast that he did just a couple weeks ago, and he's like, I don't remember saying. He laughed at his own joke. He didn't remember saying it.
Like, that's funny. Who said that one? Oh,
see.
Brain is
I'm pretty sure that all you've just talked about is the definition of dementia.
No, I just don't bother to like retain information that's not important.
Suddenly you just start turning blue like, Michael, you need to breathe. Oh yeah,
I gotta remember that one.
That's an important one.
I have very limited capacities up here, and I have to save it for like being able to do my job and waking up in the morning.
Yes.
And ponies. Lots and lots of ponies. Oh, and sitcoms from the 90s and 80s.
Why'd you go backwards?
Because I'm going to the things that are important. No. I'm remembering them in reverse because I have to like go into my brain, and then you got to go through the ponies to get to the other stuff in the back. So it's how brains work. So there's just like a wall of ponies blocking everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it was a problem, but look at those faces. It's adorable.
Yeah, that's creepy. The one thing I need to do. Oh, is it? Okay, it is Pinky. I wanted to make sure because I'm like, wait, was it Rainbow that did that? Maybe I should just. This is just. This is Pinky's animation.
Yes. Rainbow just go pop pop.
No. So what we're gonna this is what we're gonna do for Pinky. We're going to. Okay, so this is gonna what it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
She forgot her hooves.
No, well, the hooves will come with, but she just slides across the ground and is still waving. That's her.
Horses are made of taffy.
See, this is just gonna be. It's just gonna be her the whole time. Well, wait. Yeah, actually, that's fine. See, she's just gonna.
Oh no! They're firing in every direction.
Okay, hold on. I gotta.
Oh boy. Because, my amazing impressions.
There we go. So, okay, so yes. This is Pinky.
Bucks.
Apparently I need to do a Pinky voice impression, so go back in the animation. And I can do the impression.
I'm gonna undo some of that so I get that back too. Oh, that undid some other stuff, but whatever.
Okay. Well, I gotta, okay. I'll wait.
There you go.
Okay. It's like, hi, I'm Pinky. Want some nose candy? Hee hee. I do cocaine. There you go. That's my Pinky. Hee hee. Ha ha. Murder. It's fun. Hey, fun. She's good. No. I eat pickles all the time without bread. I don't know. Is that crazy? I think that's crazy. Pickles without bread. It's like, what else is crazy? It's like,
oh, I have this backwards. Hold on. There we go. There you go.
It's like, I do my taxes January 1st. Madness.
I don't think, can you?
I mean, you could if your employer was super on the ball,
Or if you were self-employed.
yeah, that's why it's crazy. And it's like, I take a penny and I don't leave a penny. Madness. And it's pretty crazy stuff she's rambling on about.
This is actually
Yes.
really fucking creepy. You can hear the murder noises of Rainbow in the background.
Can make Michael work for his derpy cameos. Yes. She got wobbly face. Why do they have wobbly faces?
The cheeks. The cheeks technically have jiggle bones.
But they don't have wobbly cheeks no more.
They still have a jiggle bone. It's not as harsh or as bad as there used to be, but I still have to disable it. No, it has its purposes. I have used the cheekbone movement before, but I never used it for jiggle bones. I never understood that. Like, if you have a face that has cheeks that literally bounce around as you move, you're a chonker. And so this is... The horses aren't chonkers.
They're made of like marshmallows and taffy. So they wiggle
Well, that
a
one
bit.
is, but this one's made of... This one's all beef.
Oh, this is beef.
Because she got a beefy butt, she got beefy arms. And then this one's just... She's just...
Strong wind will kill her.
Yeah, she heard you.
She knows I'm right.
Strong. He's slightly above average win. It undid, I think, some of my positioning here, though I think I had lifted her a little higher. Because I hit undo a bunch, and I think I might have overdone it a little.
Can't you control Wyatt back?
To a degree, but there's certain things that fall in the bucket of things done that, because you could undo, but you can't redo it if you've done an action since then.
No.
Some things like that would have been an action. And so sometimes I'll do that and then I will erase my history or my redo history.
Oof.
What is the opposite of history?
You know that history had
Anyway.
I guess.
It's at the Burger Mart. I get Adam Savage in the background. Yes. You're not the first person.
No.
I see. I'm Ed Sheeran. He's Adam Savage.
Today we're gonna build a boat in my workshop. Why? Because I got money and nothing better to do.
If you're able
Let's go.
You finally have the ability to build animatronics, and your first thing you do is build a boat.
Now, I actually would love to have a workshop, money, and all the free time in the world.
If you would not do anything with it.
Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't. You'd have a workshop and it'd be neat, and then you never go and use it.
No, I would use it all the time if I didn't have to, like, do other things. If I was... You act like I don't do things. I do lots of things, just not in front of you.
Other than the one mod you've been working on, what's the most productive thing you've done?
Repaired about probably about 10 grand in, like, electronic systems this week.
No, that's work.
Yeah, but if I didn't have to do work, I'd have that energy for my own things.
Nope, you'd just be watching Netflix and you wouldn't.
Like, super productive. You don't even know.
I'm talking. Alan is camping, so I have to harass y'all for him. He's camping. Why is he camping and you're not? What's with that? Thanks. I can't unsee that. I know. It's great. I just was in order for Pinky to eat as much sugar. That means there has to be a sizable sugarcane farming operation somewhere. No, she's just made of sugar. I can't make this cut on my bandsaw. Let me come over to my $140,000 machine lathe. Yeah, he's got a pretty nice setup there, but he's also shown how to do some stuff cheaper. During, like, certain tools that have a big benefit for being cheap. Some of those tools, there are other ones that can be used, maybe not as well, but they'll work. He's just got so many of the other ones that he can start filling in these little, like, gaps for that are, you know, optimized for certain things. So I can kind of understand that. This one's over here. I want to get the skybox moved over this one. Oh no, it is there. Oh, it's just dark right now. That's why. It's a guy's camping day. His cousin is taking his son with Nolan and a few guy friends. Oh, so you're not invited to guys' night. Well, that's fine. You just go and you get all the girls over and, like, have an Overwatch night or something. And the fact you're here, right, you know, instead is probably not.
I don't
Order
know.
pizza or something. Feel lagging for anyone else. Is it just me?
Order.
Try restarting the browser. That's usually a good way to fix stuff.
I was about ready to say that ordering a pizza just by yourself is a sad thing to do, but that's like pretty much all of my meals in college.
What are you talking about? Ordering a pizza solo is great because you get the whole pizza.
Yeah, but then you're like you eat a whole pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're sad later.
Yeah.
I remember
That's part of being alive.
my first year in college. They had like these $5 pizzas at the Kroger store that were actually really good, and I would go there, pick one up, and a 2-liter Mountain Dew, and I would just eat the pizza and drink the Mountain Dew right out of the 2-liter. Those were
yeah, well, when I was younger, I used to do stuff like that too.
those were sad days. It's me eating a pizza.
Just lagging a bit. Oh, actually, I am.
I didn't have a couch, so I just ate the pizza on the floor. I would just put the pizza on the floor in the box and just eat out of the box. Did you do that?
Don't know.
You're distracted right now.
No, I was saying there's a drops frames, and I want to double check as to what might be causing it.
You gotta go make a pizza from scratch. You gotta go make the dough and milk the cow and like curdle the cheese.
Curdle the cheese?
Yeah. Get the curds in the way, then you compress the curds into a cheese block, and then you shred it up and put it on your pizza.
No, it's not helping. I know I can see it's dropping frames on occasion, but only thing I can think of is CPU's being consumed a little bit more than normal. I think my if I had to take a guess.
I see the issue. It's that streaming software. You should disable that.
Yeah, probably. No,
Braves eat a lot of it.
What?
Your browser. It's open.
yeah, that one I usually need, but I'm gonna. It's not. Well, it's eating RAM. It's not eating CPU. That should help a little bit. We'll see if that helps. It's got a good decent amount of drop frames, and I'm trying to figure out. Normally CPU usage is around 30 to 50%, and it's sitting at 60 to 70.
You're blocking the derbies.
Cripstone. It is derby.
Derbies.
Why is it going to the end? Hold on, that was the wrong button. Let me switch to there. Sorry, must have hit a different button. Trying to hit buttons to do buttons.
Now your video's lagging.
Um,
Can't you just close Brave, or you need it for
No,
something?
I have Brave closed. Oh wait, no, I thought I had it closed. Oh no, I have it open for this thing. And you know what? Actually, I can. I just have to open up the feed on this thing instead, so I can't see chat for a sec. I don't think that's going to help all that much though.
It's the only thing I can think of.
But yeah, CPU usage is being consumed a lot more. But it says it's system, and the concern I have is that it was wanting to do updates, and I'm thinking it might
You don't
be
have
doing
Steam
them.
open, do you?
No, I don't. I never have
think
Steam
so.
open on this one, because those ones all need to be open. How much is that eating? Nothing. And his Explorer is eating a little. I can get rid of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really see anything else you can disable. Why does it say OBS is open twice?
Alt F4. What?
It's got OBS 2. It says there's 2 windows.
The encoder.
Oh, okay.
Just give me one more sec here. I'm gonna just.
I think you're running bare bones at this point. That's weird. But I'm not
And that
gonna
one's
question
understandable. CPU's not at max. That's what's confusing, but it's still showing drops. Oh. Check here.
You see things?
Well, normally it should be sitting at about 6,000 kilobits on encoding. Oh, there it dropped now.
It did.
It was showing 20,000, which is a little above what it's supposed to be doing. Now it looks like it's fine.
Yes.
So, yeah, that was weird. It literally spiked from 6,000 to 20,000, which doesn't make any sense. But is it working now? It should be working now.
Ruh-roh was right.
Should be fine. I didn't really do anything, so I'm a little concerned as to how it went up.
And it saw you noticed it, and it was like, oh, he's on to us, guys.
Yeah, that's why they got data on the bottom there. Yeah, it should be fine now. Yeah, I'm not sure what that was. It was definitely higher CPU usage than I would like, but can't do anything about that. It's only... Was it I think it's a 6 or 12 thread. I can't remember.
That is a small processor by today's standards.
Well, my one in that computer is an 8-core 8-thread, and it's more powerful than the one in this one.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, because that was a 9700K. This is a 11400, so it's just a lower one. A Ryzen 7 3700. Oh, my main PC is a 5950, but
I have a Ryzen 9 in my PC.
I actually did the check. I could move streaming to my main PC again and just lock down half of the 32 threads to encoding and the other half to whatever I want to do, and it would still run fine. There's very few games I don't think anything I could run would ever utilize the other half of the
You
cores.
said you had a Ryzen 9, right?
Yeah, so it's a 5950. It's the highest end current. You have a 3900.
Yeah, it's a Ryzen 9 39. Something.
It's the 30. You have a 3900. The equivalent now would have been a 5900, but I have the one above that. It helps for encoding and stuff. That many threads does help. Yeah, it should be better now. I haven't seen a single drop frame since I said that. So, but it was dropping for a bit there. But anyways, back to
horses.
horses. I wish I knew what caused
one
that,
is so bouncy.
but I'm thinking Streamlabs just did something goofy. There's no reason it should jump. I went to the settings and I'm thinking something got goofed, and then it just like, oh, I gotta behave now.
I will keep an eye on that number.
Let me put this up so that we get a little bit bigger chat now. So, that's why I use browser can cause issues. It wasn't a browser; it was the Streamlabs that was doing it. It was, it was trying to encode faster or more frames at a higher bit rate than all, because I currently have 3 streaming encodings running at the same time, and it's perfectly fine. It can keep up with everything that's running, but then it was starting to hit a limit by going that high. So, anyway, I think I can move forward on this. I'm probably gonna have to do something with Fluttershy. I can't just keep her not moving. But I'll figure something out with her.
You're just gonna have her look up maybe a little bit.
Well, no, I have to. No, she will look up, but it's about, she can't just stay perfectly still. She has to have some kind of emotion to her.
Get cross.
We'll worry about that later. Actually, let me grab the lighting from this shot and see if I can utilize it here.
Oh, mobile's a different story there, Ice.
It's usually always laggy to me. Yeah, well, also mobile. If you try to run mobile at like 1080 or something, yeah, probably. Most mobile you can drop to like 480 and not even notice.
Probably make the difference if you're on like a cell network as opposed to Wi-Fi too.
Okay, does that fit? So this is this shot to this shot. I think that does work. I don't think I'll have to change all that much. There's an eye light here. I think that I can just put it over here just to help balance out their eyes ever so slightly. Did that even do anything? Actually, a little. I can probably brighten that up just a bit. Well, I gotta be careful because they're gonna move forward. Moving characters always makes lighting more difficult. The rim lights are gonna be tough for these. I don't want to have multiple. We'll just, I don't even care about whether it's called rim or not. We're gonna move this over here. I want to have kind of a separate light next to them coming around from that edge. Gotta be careful though, because if I shine it to the ground, it's gonna light up. And I want to maintain their shadows. So we'll do something like, I think Fluttershy is going to be a different light. And that's because she's not moving, they are. It's probably just better that way. So we're going to call this, just in this duo. Oops, caps lock on. Type everything with one hand. So
That's the rum light.
Rim light.
Oh yeah. Rum light would have been better though. Sounds delicious. The ponies are
I have rum.
void.
It's in the cup. It's almost gone though.
Mine is almost gone too. Actually, I'd say mine is gone. That's just water now.
Okay, so we're gonna put a little bit of light underneath them because dirt is bright. Oh wait, actually. Oh, their hooves are actually pretty bright. That's okay. I'll keep that. And this is going to be Fluttershy. Yeah, I haven't lost a frame since that fix, so okay. I think we're all good still. On this side. Thankfully, she's far enough backwards or back there that it won't matter. So the purpose of that light is to create a little bit of a light coming around the edge there. Without that, they just kind of blend in with the background. But if you put that on, it really helps them pop and stand out more, and that just is useful. Most movies actually do that too. Kicking at the dirt a little. No, kicking at the dirt a little, I think, implies a different type of emotion. I want her to feel like she's just kind of there, but then when they start moving, then her eyebrows imply like not caring. I want her to be a little bit surprised, but
I kind of like the idea of like her using one hoof and just kind of rubbing the other one, just kind of fidgeting nervously, and just going like that.
That's tough because she can't be leaned over like this.
She could just cross her hooves.
Because I'd have to readjust her to put all of her weight. If you're leaning forward like that and you now took away 2 centers of mass and you have only 1, you'd have to readjust it to be the center so that you're balanced. And all the positioning for that, I don't know if I want to carry on that. And trying to get the hoof curled up on your own leg, they're not easy on the 3D models. It's usually, because that requires usually turning the hoof around, and they don't bend that way that well. I can't restart Twitch. Yeah, so everything should be solved on my end. Showed like from the beginning of the stream, 11,000 frames dropped. So it's a lot. So it's 20% at that point. Yeah, I'm not sure on the mobile part. That's probably just Twitch. I use Brave for my browser, though. I know you mentioned Opera before. I like Opera's not too bad. And actually, I think they have a gaming browser now, which is weird and goofy, but I think it actually had some neat features.
In my opinion, everybody should be using Netscape.
Wait,
Netscape for the win, y'all. She did bark.
and Pinky's having a seizure.
Yes.
Well, actually, Rainbow is too, but
Oh, she's bouncy. She's very happy.
it's yours.
I mean, I want ponies that act like puppies and kids. They're like
Kids?
and kids.
Like kids?
Kids. They gotta act like the kids. Like ponies acting like anything but people is always the best. Like, even when they just act like horses. Oh, that's great.
Just realized that. Okay, so Rainbow is set to start like moving forward correctly. Pinky is not. She just starts moving. She's not even moving. We're gonna fix that.
Moving is hard.
Yeah, it is.
That sense of defeat. Like, I tried moving yesterday, nearly killed me.
I tried so hard and got nowhere.
Got nowhere.
In the end, I'm gonna eat Cheetos.
Yes. Bugles. Bugles are better. You can wear them on your fingertips and like go rah. Can you do that with Cheetos? No.
No, I thought this was adjusted correctly. I'm not seeing her hoof be in the correct position for this, so we're gonna fix that too. So this is the point where it jumps, and I just need to move her. She just dies. She just dies. It's like, I gotta move her. I think pelvis to put her. Well. It's really hard because I can't really adjust the beginning of this, but I want to have that be the starting position. So normally this isn't the best method to do it, but it works. Because this might cause her pelvis to suddenly start moving very fast. Yeah, that's pretty good, but it should be fine. All right, let's just blend that real quick. And for this, I do want to include the root because this is an immediate start moving. I want to have the movement blended as well.
You want to hear a story about how desperate I was back at my old place to watch yours and Jay's streams cleanly? Like, without latency? I had fairly decent internet back where I used to live, but I always, when it came to Twitch streams, I always had a lot of issues. So I actually found out how to ping servers. I can't remember how to do it now, but how many servers I bounced off of before I got to Twitch's main server. And it turned out I was pinging off of a server in Germany that was then bouncing back to the US
Just
servers.
like type ping and then the IP, I think. I can't remember the whole thing. It's easy.
It's easy. But I found out I was essentially pinging off servers in Germany. And I actually called up my internet service provider because a lot of popular addresses, they set it up so that it'll direct you directly to their servers. They have to set it up.
Well, whenever you type in a website address, it always directs you to an IP.
Yeah.
A DNS just converts that text into the IP.
Yeah.
So yeah, as long as but normally, like the house here, I might have an IP, but there's more than likely somebody else that shares it, and it's just about knowing that's the IPv6 to help in that regard.
But in this case, I actually was pinging every server I bounced off of to get the final IP.
Well,
so I knew exactly where they were. Well, I came to the conclusion that my internet service provider, which was the town of Williamstown, didn't have a direct connection to Twitch. They had direct connection to YouTube and other popular websites, but not Twitch. And I actually called up my service provider several times to see what they could do, and eventually they did add it. I don't know if it was because of my phone calls or what, but I was very happy. I have to imagine most major providers do it for Twitch.
I don't think I've ever really heard of something like that, so having to have like a
to ensure
a direct connection. It's probably similar to the port forwarding or something, just on a business scale.
Yeah. Basically, they had, if you don't want your signal bouncing all over the place, the main servers, like most like small websites, it just bounces until it finds a way. But
it's probably anything UDP.
Yeah.
So I don't know, is Twitch UDP or is it TCP? I'm gonna guess it's probably TCP.
Sir Edward, not all my stories have to involve me lighting myself on fire.
They're better that way, though.
They are.
So I mark these beginning and ends because I know that it's at this is the transition point, so this is probably going to be where the leg breaks the most. So I just wanted you to go in here and fix that. Trace route, that's the one. Yeah. And yeah, you can type in the URL for that one. Yeah, but I'm going to guess... I don't think UDP is utilized much anymore. I think even like Twitch... Well, no, Twitch is going to be TCP because they have a server. UDP is if you want to do a direct connect, because TCP is about you send a packet, it does a handshake process to verify connection, and then they start transferring and whatever.
Right.
UDP is... and then you get a packet and you do something with the packet. UDP is send me bits and I'm just going to use them as I get them, which is great for streaming, but I don't think that's how most of the stuff works for that anymore.
Right.
Okay, so this hoof is lifting off a little bit. We don't want that. Bad hoof. We're going to see if we can have her kind of like this. Kinda. That kind of works. Yeah, that works. It's just about improving how it looks when it's on the ground there. And actually, do I even need to worry about that from this angle? Okay, the other hoof I definitely don't need to worry about. But like the back legs, does it even look like they're sliding? Oh, actually, Rainbow's a better one to judge that. Kind of, actually, because I see her like leg kind of... it's kind of sliding... So this is the inside, and then it slides outwards. That's not right. The legs don't do that. We'll see if we can fix it. So we're gonna... She lands here, and then she takes off there. So this leg... I'll say... where's your leg?
Sunset is the bad news that you can't share the chicken nuggets with me?
Chicken nuggets for dinner? Yeah, what's the bad news?
No, because I want chicken nuggets.
You already ate.
Yeah, but not chicken nuggets.
Yeah, and you have mac and cheese in the fridge too. You can.
Yeah. Still not chicken nuggets though. Technically, I kind of had mac and cheese tonight.
I don't know if chicken Alfredo counts for mac and cheese.
Is it pasta and cheese? Just put chicken in it.
But it's not macaroni. That's where the mac comes from.
It's pasta.
You had fettuccine and cheese.
Look, if I get those twirly pasta things, what are they called? The twirly ones. The ones that are spirals.
The one that the one that I had the other thing we had. Cavatappi.
Maybe.
It's like a macaroni that keeps going for a couple swirls.
Yeah, like if I mix that with cheese, that's macaroni and cheese, right?
macaroni is not just a pasta. It is. Well,
Yeah,
it's
but
not just pasta.
would it
is-
not? If I served this to you and said macaroni and cheese, here you go, would you even bat an eye?
Well, yeah, I would, because you served me. If you just served me food without me questioning it, yeah,
like,
that'd be weird.
The shells, the pasta shells, that's even better mac and cheese because it captures the cheese in the shell. That's amazing macaroni and cheese. That's like the best version of mac and cheese. I'm just saying. Yeah, I ate mac and cheese tonight. Chicken Alfredo is just mac and cheese with chicken.
Oh, okay. Sad to see that sunset. I hope it works out.
I'm imagining like making a box of Kraft mac and cheese and throwing some chicken nuggets in it and like boom, chicken Alfredo. I'll serve that to you. It would be great.
No, like, well, if you want to make it Alfredo, you'd have to toss like, because Alfredo is basically a milk and Parmesan.
It's cheese.
I know, but the specific thing that makes it Alfredo is Parmesan. So if you were to take mac and cheese and then toss Parmesan in it, that'd become
Well,
close.
then it would be chicken Alfredo.
It'd be closer to it than
I feel like it's cheese is cheese, man.
no.
Like some cheeses.
No.
There's very little difference between like
No.
cheddar and like Gouda.
No.
Gouda.
He's just ignore Michael. He's having a stroke. Not all cheese is the same.
Not all cheese is the same. Some cheese has mold in it, but that cheese is a different cheese because there's mold. That's cheese plus mold. It's two things.
I think I want to add something to Pinky here, but I think adding any keyframes is not going to be worthwhile. I'm gonna play with that hoof of hers. So this leg, okay. So right now it's just. Actually, could I just reverse do this? Okay, I might redo the hoof. Let's say that let's make the gap. It's not even cut. Okay, we'll do the gap as this. I'll do it here. And she's not moving anymore. We're gonna just. Ooh, no, that's not gonna work either. Do like this. Ooh. You know what? Sure, we'll do it. Like this. Oh, that. I need to put the hoof down a little bit. If I do the rounding thing like I normally do, I need to give it wiggle room. So, do that. And so it goes that way. And then we're going to say copy, paste.
I'm trying to figure out where her joints are. That arm is just.
Well, the way I'm doing this, it shouldn't matter. I'm doing this in for a method of allowing me to delay certain motions. So we're going to, yeah, I'll delay it like this. Yes. There. That looks better. And then we're going to take this. trying to count, so it's always a multiple 3.
Hello, Skylight.
Hello, hello. Yo, yo, so, yo, yo. I'm not a big fan of how she's even moving with that, but I'll deal with that later. Oh, okay, that's where Hope reconnects back into Oblivion. Let's... What had your... Oh, that was a condensed. Okay. I did that the way I did it so that I should have a copy pastable. Yes. Since it's in sets of 3, as long as I paste it in sets of 3, I'm fine. Or as long as I readjust it in sets of 3. So by dropping it in frames by 3, it means it was condensing those 3 different pieces into 1 frame less each. But that's a little better looking. It's going pretty good. I hope you are doing well. Thank you, Gaming Artisan, for the sub. Here's to 1 year and many more. Oh, that is a year. You get the rainbow mug too?
Rainbow mugs.
Ooh.
Looking at your keyboard.
Huh.
And wouldn't it be easier to pick one color that's easier to see?
It shuts off after a minute or 2 anyway. And I can see them fine.
Not when they're like, some colors yes, other colors no. Like that, it was made it worse.
Well, that's just
The green
brightness.
was fairly easy.
I forgot there's like a certain button sequence I have to hit to enable the other thing. But
Like that dark blue is like near impossible just to make out the keys.
yeah, but I like blue. What's wrong with blue?
Your keyboard is giving me anxiety.
Well, thankfully I just made it brighter for you.
Yeah.
Because it makes you probably more anxious.
No, I can actually see the keys. What if I need to type from over here, nowhere near your keyboard? I can't read the keys.
Well, that's nifty. You know what? Make yourself useful. Go grab one of
I
those
have to
booze.
do a voice impression.
Okay, then go get more booze.
It's like, okay, I got a prep pinky.
Is it a pinky one again?
Yeah, it's a pinky one again.
Oh god. Are you in a gamer if you're not using a rainbow wave on your keyboard? Yeah, I've got this one. See, look, it's doing fancy colors. See, like now it's like blue. There's a purple. Now it's a green.
My keyboard has colors. Two colors.
The only reason I have the lights on is because I can't see the keys without him. But I really don't care as long as I can feel the notch. It's all good. Okay, so we need to get you the creepy pinky face. Okay, so there you go. You got the creepy pinky face.
She's hey, I'm stoned. Hi, so much Coke. Coca-Cola. It's delicious. I'm high on Mountain Dew and Pop Rocks. I will explode. Boom. And she exploded. It's dead. Rainbow Dash is happier. Pinky or Fluttershy doesn't care.
She's just
Dead. You killed her. It's all those drugged Pop Rocks. Alright, now I'm gonna go
drugged
make
Pop Rocks.
Yes, drugged Pop Rocks. I feel like we just lost our Pop Rock endorsement.
Yeah, a Pop Rock endorsement.
Yes, you didn't know about it, but it's gone now.
Are you taking the checks? Because I don't know about this. These voice impressions are amazing. How would you even type if you can't reach the keyboard? Well, actually, I have the keyboard. I have a tray, but it's actually underneath the desk, so I'm actually using it underneath the desk. I can barely see the keyboard, but it's fine. I know all the buttons. As long as I can feel the notch on the F key, it's fine. But also, they're completely separated with the mic in the way, so to me, like, I actually cannot use my other hand unless I reach it around. So every time you see me typing, normally, it's with one hand. I've gotten pretty good at it, though. I used to do it a lot at work. Okay, so Pinky kind of comes down weird, which is fine. I don't know why I'm working on blending this right now. I probably don't need to. It's just red, but whatever, we'll do it. So when she does, I'm gonna have her, that part of her leg come down faster, and then have these kind of come down like they're delayed a little bit. No, there's an open can of ginger beer. When she goes to go down, though, I need to have her kind of, I don't know, lean into that motion. So we're going to lock her back legs. And we're going to see if I can... Ooh, that is not the leg I want locked right there. How much is it in there? That's fine. I'm going to grab the beer on the next one anyway. Oh, that's whatever. Squirt a little lime juice in there. Okay, I'm thinking before I do that motion, it looks like I'm going to have to blend Pinky's next little part here. I think it's a little too quick. Let's see if I can move that to like here. The point of this was to have her kind of have a transition to move over, so maybe you'll keep it there. Let's see what it looks like. Her eyes aren't going to be open for this part. I think that actually works fine. I'll keep it like this. So she'll have a little bit of a lean in the coming from going this direction. Yeah, I'll keep that for now, but I don't know if I want to keep it. It's just I have an idea in my head, but it takes a few steps to get there. So we'll see what we can do. Did you put the rum in first? And then the pop?
Yes.
Why don't you do the pop first? Then you know how much rum to put in.
It's usually I know how much rum to put in.
But why do you do that first? Plus, then if you put it on the ice, it melts the ice before you get the liquid in.
You know, enjoy your drink. It's strong. Just like, I get hammered tonight.
No, it's still fine. That's the nice thing about ginger beer is it hides a lot of stuff. It hides like mistakes.
Yet I'm still here.
Touche.
Wow. It is coming at you strong.
Oh god, there's a lot of stupid faces. What, do you guys like working in cahoots?
Double stupid faces is hard.
I mean, I've got to... Let me... The part is I'm kind of in a complex thing right now, and I want to be able to undo it, so you're going to have to give me a minute. I want to make sure that I'm not digging myself into a hole I can't undo.
Yes. Make sure to save. I like her wibbly wobbly motions. She's very wobbly. You know what you should do? Crossover.
Crossover?
Mm-hmm. A My Little Pony Gumby crossover.
Just make a pony green and voila, done.
No, you gotta have Gumby, not a green pony named Gumby. He's got his friend. He has a pony friend. And
he's already a step ahead of you.
Wow. It's true, though.
He has friends.
I envy Gumby. And he's the one who's green. I wonder how many people in this chat even know who Gumby is.
This is a complex one. So I want to have her dip a little bit, but if I have her do that, it might be before this hoof actually comes back down. And I think I'm just going to do it anyway. So I'm going to have her dip and go a little bit backwards. A little bit more. Okay. All these motions are undoable. That's why you gotta give me a sec before I get the stupid faces. If I start poking at other stuff, I'd be going down a deep, dark trail.
You'd have a hard time getting back on track, I would imagine.
Well, it's more of if it crashes, I would lose, I would either lose work or I'd have it locked in. So that's what I want to try to get. And sometimes it's just not worth it. So I need to get this finished, or at least determine whether or not I want to undo or not. Sometimes you just don't know what it's going to look like until you've done it.
Sir Edward, Gumby is not a small town in Oklahoma that I'm aware of. He is a great legend of cinema.
Many legends are spoken of the Lord Gumby.
Let me tell you the legend of Gumby.
Lord Gumby.
He's here, and he will be sure to stay. Gumby, let's go see what magical games he can play. He can change into anything. With his pal Pokey Prickle and you, he can walk through a wall if you want him to. Yeah, that's the legend of Gumby.
That stroke's still going. This one is going to require a lock.
You still have your Gumby McDonald's toy. That is impressive.
Too much. A little bit.
Like most things I enjoy, they were before my time. I think Gumby was definitely on television when I was real little, but after that, not so much.
I don't even know if I had really watched Gumby when it was on television. It sounds like something on cable.
I think the most recent reference to anything I've heard Gumby in was an episode of Futurama where they referred to Gumbercules. It's a combination of Gumby and Hercules. It's a great reference for old people.
Let's close those, see if this works. I'm going to add a little bit more bounce and probably smoothing the head out a little bit. I think it works, though. I think here it's just a little bit too much of like wibbly wobbly.
He's a wibbly wobbly horse.
And like here, her head probably can dip a little differently. Or actually, that'd probably be her neck. There's a little bit of a snap motion, and I could probably smooth that out. Actually, I probably need to have this part have her move over, but I think I'm okay keeping it. So I can at least adjust it from there. So okay, we're good. Hello, Night.
Yes, hello, Night.
Wobbly bones can be a sign of osteoporosis. If you were a loved one, Gumby does sound like a small town in Oklahoma. Actually, it sounds like the capital of Oklahoma. Showing it around 88. Wow. All right.
Yeah, here I am with all my Gumby knowledge.
You were alive in 88.
I was 3 years old.
33 years old.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So now I can do some stupid faces. All right, let's make some horses do something stupid. I'm liking the 15 AI stupid ones. All right, who is first? Blur, give me a horse.
Give me a horse. Give me a horse. Break me off a piece of that horse.
Break me off.
Yes. It gets murdery towards the end of that song. It's a very dark, dark world in which those horses live in.
Uh-huh.
Fall to Equestria. Good book. Did it give you a horse?
Not yet.
I think we just
Like
all
being
start...
paid in booping burpee. Duping burpee.
Don't do the burpees.
Do burpees.
Big Mac.
Oh, okay. We'll grab a Big Mac. And what? Give me a noun or a theme or something. Like something like a one or two words. We're going to actually close this one and just open a new stage.
He won the lottery, but he also had a heart attack. It's the premise to a couple of things.
Hotel. Okay. Okay, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Big Mac in a hotel. What do you want him to say?
You can say, please, sir. No. Okay.
Say, please, sir. You going with that?
Please, sir, take my bags of cabbages upstairs. Door to my room. Fine, upstairs is fine.
No, you gotta keep it.
No, just instead of upstairs, just take my bag of cabbages. There we go.
Okay. All right, and Kite, give me a horse.
Please, sir, take my bags of cabbages.
That doesn't even sound like Big Mac.
Please, sir, take my bags of cabbages.
No, okay, that sounded better. What is this?
Please, sir, take my bags of cabbages.
That doesn't even sound like him.
You're gonna understand my frustration with 15 AI as of recent.
Take my bags of cabbages.
Like sometimes I have
That's
to
better.
sometimes I have to generate button like 10 times to get a decent line.
Well, for these low volume ones.
Mm-hmm. I've been working on a thing and it's had me in 15 AI for hours on end.
Was that a Gundam horse? It was. It was a Gundam Big Mac.
Please, sir, take my bags of cabbages.
He sounds like he's like British.
Please, sir, take my bags of cabbages. Please, sir, take my bags of cabbages.
That one, we're gonna go with that one. He sounds desperate. Is Kite still there? We need another horse.
We need at least one more horse, if not 20. 20 horses. Well, Peak, you already picked a horse. So who was the other person?
Oh, you were thinking. Okay, no problem.
Wait, who did the other two? Are we doing both two faces or one two face?
We're gonna mix them both. Letting Kite pick the other horse for this.
The other horse.
Because you implied there's another person.
I did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, who's the other person now?
Kite is
Kite
thinking.
said. Oh.
We'll let Kite think about it.
Who is taking Big Mac's cabbages?
Uh-oh. I don't think I have an updated Brayburn.
You don't need one. Just any Brave Burn will do.
Yeah, I think this is the old or the original OP. Okay, so now we have them and cabbages. Box. I need an open box. Apparently, they have lots of boxes, but opening it, that's difficult. Oh my god. Just give me an open box. What if I just add open? There we go. That works. This looks like a very Big Mac box. Okay, so we have our box and we have cabbages. We're gonna have to shrink that. That's a big cabbage. So Big Mac says that, and now what does Brayburn say to him?
He says, You can't fool me, vegetable, monster. And then he hits him in the face.
No, I just asked for lines.
I don't know.
Okay. Wait, there's a Brayburn in here, right? Yeah, there he is. I need a line.
It's like, I want to keep it short for you.
That's the first, like, simple line you can come up with.
Cabbages are the devil. Just there.
Okay, we'll do that.
Cabbages are the devil. Cabbages are the devil.
Just turn into Bobby
Cabbages are the
Boucher's
devil.
mom.
I've got a cabbage. I've got a cabbage.
Cabbages are the devil.
Cabbage. Yeah.
Cabbages are the devil. Cabbages are the devil. Cabbages are the devil. Cabbages are the devil.
I'm gonna go with that one. That one actually sounds pretty good. Okay.
I don't even remember what the old laser lettuce was. What is laser lettuce? Am I gonna regret asking this question? Probably.
All right. I wanted to get the models loaded because I have to load the audio files now, and I can't do it both. So if it's either that or I close it, get the audio, then close it again, and it's easier this way. So, all right. I'll be notified that says Windows antivirus did not find any threats since your last scan. Thank you for this useless, because they want to make it sound like it's being useful.
When really it's just eating a lot of your processing power.
Well, kind of. Antivirus is useful. The best antivirus, though, is just not being stupid. So as long as you just don't go to random websites, don't click links you don't know.
That's why your grandmother's and mother's computers are probably just riddled with like viruses, because they just click on everything.
I've had accounts hacked before, but that doesn't really count. That's just bad password management. Now I have an actual password manager, and I've redone almost all but like 4 of my passwords, so that they're all just random gibberish. I haven't had an infected computer for over a decade, and I had no antivirus for a lot of it, just because I go to the very specific sites. I don't click lots of things. I have ad blockers. It's just about being smart for the most part. A person can't just they can access your computer. If they like know your IP, they could actually kind of inject themselves into your system a little bit if they wanted. So
we should rip off a song about this. It's like, Don't go to websites you're not used to. Only go to the websites that you regularly browse. I wrote that just now. I did.
I thought you said you're gonna rip it off.
Oh, I did. I ripped it off from the tune.
I mean, the closest to rip off you had was it sounded like a fart.
Farts do rip.
You got the joke.
So many lost underpants.
Okay, so Big Mac's gonna do his line. Oh,
Please, sir, take my bags of cabbages.
Cabbages are the devil.
So dumb. Comes up with this shit.
you did.
No.
Take my bags of cabbages.
It's a bag. Okay, it's we're gonna do it's a box of cabbages now. Okay, so Big Mac is gonna be over here. He's gonna be looking over. Have him be. We need a 50. Yeah, I'll do a 50. And he definitely sounds concerned, so let's definitely make him. Let's get him a little bit sad on this.
I am imagining the cabbages attacking him at the end of this.
Okay, so then we'll do that, and then we'll move Rayburn out of shot here. Okay.
Please, sir.
Okay, he should be a little bit easy to do because this lip syncing is only like 7 bones. You can't smoke cabbages. He's smoking the green. And Desperate is like someone holding a gun to his head, forcing him to sell cabbages.
Cabbage is delicious. Especially with lots of
Please,
butter.
sir.
So I remember there was a thing about a hotel on this. But we're gonna. He's not a bellhop apparently.
Pretend.
Take my bags
He's a
of
bellhop
cabbages.
who just really doesn't like cabbages.
Okay. He just doesn't sound like Big Mac for this, but there's just not enough audio to I think get a good voice
There's
in any way.
there's actually a fair amount of audio for him. On 15AI,
But it's all yup.
Derpy has less audio than Big Mac. No, he actually had speaking parts. They were more than just yep. They were rare and far between. They existed. Peter New got paid well for all those yips. I think that one episode you didn't watch, he talked a lot.
Keep the grin up, and we're gonna go add a little bit more of that pucker. Gotta go a little bit O in there too. Oh, and I can probably do a little bit of close. Okay, sure. A little bit of grin. Do a little bit more of that O. Less grin.
Sir.
Okay, let's do this open.
Please, sir.
We're actually gonna blend. Or no, we're gonna have that close a little bit more there.
Please, sir. Sir.
So, a bit more.
Please, sir. Sir. Take my bag. Please, sir. Sir.
So there's gonna be a little bit of forward.
That's always fun to do.
Sir. Please.
This is where I can start using. Once you get a few of the motions in, you can just kind of start grabbing from before.
Take my
Okay. he's gonna be like, I don't, do he have lip bite? He does have lip bite. Perfect. That does he have lip out? He does. Do some pucker. Okay. So this one needs to do a little bit in the back. So I'm gonna see if I can do. No, that's. I can't do the back. Maybe there's like some. Oh, the anger's already done. Stretch. Yeah, that'll work. So this might be difficult because, like here, I have to actually play around with this to make it so it doesn't clip so much. It's really finicky.
Take my back.
I always remember one of the comic books, one of the early comics. I remember back when I used to read the comics. There was a comic where Fleetfoot fell in love with Big Macintosh, and I love this. In her head, she's like taking the yoke off and like fixing him. I do hate that yoke.
My bag. My bags.
Just gonna frown a bit on this one. This is gonna be a bit more of the oh, that's gonna be a little bit of the close too. Oh, this close doesn't work that way. Gotta be like biting his lip, but I don't think I can get away with that.
Bags of my bags of cabbage.
This cabbages is a tough one. Too many syllables.
Cabbages?
Cabbages. You're closing your mouth multiple times in a single
Don't
word.
say it like that. Cabbages. I guess, yeah.
Because it's multiple syllables in a single word always makes it harder.
There's 3 syllables.
Mm-hmm. Stuff.
Call up the maker of words. Be like, why do you have to have vegetables that are like so hard to talk about?
It's gonna go to an E sound here.
I want to call them just tough greens. You can't really boil cabbage though. You can.
Bags of cabbages.
Should make cabbage. I think it's what we talked about this, but ham and cabbage just boiled in a big old pot is pretty gosh darn good.
You're weird.
No, it's like one of the best like comfort foods. Just get like a big old ham, a bunch of cabbage in a big pot, and just boil it all. It's essentially just a super low cost soup.
Thank you for the resub, Luigi. If you could introduce yourself one failed invention from history back into society, what would you pick? Mine would be rail artillery cannons. Well, I think usually things are disappear from history for a reason. I don't know actually. That's an on the spot thing. What would yours be, Michael?
Introduce one failed invention from history.
No, yeah.
Man, whatever happened to that one device that was on TV that would suck up your hair and then it would cut your hair at the same time? There's like that thing. It was like a thing. You put it on your head and it would suck your hair straight up and then it would trim like at whatever distance you set it to. That thing I want.
Please,
And
sir.
I don't think
Take
you
my
can get
bags
it
of
anymore.
cabbages. Take
It's
my
like one of those
bag.
90s TV ad, super late at night things.
My bags of cabbages. Bags of
Yeah, but think about how even your hair would be cut.
cabbages.
Like, I need that thing.
Bags of cabbages.
Can't think if there's anything else. Head on. Remember, it applied directly to the forehead?
Cabbages.
Didn't even do anything.
No, but the commercials were great. I just want it back for the commercials. It was garbage.
Well, you just said the whole commercial.
Cabbages.
Yeah. But I want to see it again on televisions. And like
Please,
YouTube
sir.
ads.
Please,
I
sir.
don't even care if the product's back. It was complete garbage. I just want the commercials. Like,
Please,
staring
sir.
at me
Take my
randomly.
bags of cabbages.
Okay, I don't like how cabbages is, but we're gonna go with it. Okay, we're gonna move his. Let's move his box. Or sorry, his bag. We're gonna put it like this. Keep it out of shot. Okay, so there. We're gonna keep it like this a little bit, and it's got to clip a bit so that you can't see whatever. And then we're gonna lock that to. That's his right hoof.
Mm-hmm. It's got cabbages.
Okay.
Think. Well, I'm trying to think more along the lines of what is something I used to use when I was younger that just doesn't really get used anymore. That's the kind of things I'm trying to think of now. Like, like, yeah, toys. Like, I had what was a toy I used to have? I remember having like the robot that you put the cassette in and you could pick and choose adventures. That was cool. Like Roxbury for kids.
I know exactly what you want. It was
What's
kind
that?
of failed because they don't sell it anymore.
Yeah, so that means it failed.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles pies.
Bring him back! The greatest invention of man ever created was Ninja Turtle pies. I want them so much. I don't care if it's like 20 years old. If somebody managed to find a Ninja Turtle pie still in the wrapper and handed it to me, I would open that thing up and I'd eat it and you would be my new best friend. But, like, it's never gonna happen. Because they're all gone now. Because Hostess doesn't know what they had. It's like the disappearance of ecto coolers for some people. Like, those things are legendary. And for me, it was the Ninja Turtle green pies.
Please, sir. Take my bags
Sure, they
of
probably gave me
cabbages.
cancer. But they were amazing. It's true, though, Sir Edward. That's an accurate quote.
The greatest invention man ever created was Ninja Turtle pies.
Yes. It's so true. Man. I remember as a kid, and I know I've told you
Bags
this
of
story
cabbages.
a million times, but just as a kid, like, going to the Hostess store, and, my mom telling us we could get one pie, and I would always get the Ninja
cabbages.
Turtle pie. Always. It was
Sir,
the best.
take my bags of
Because it was
cabbages.
essentially just a vanilla pie, but it had a special,
Please,
like,
sir.
green
Take my bags
crust,
of cabbages.
and it
Cabbages
had
are
the ooze filling. And if you ate them, you'd become a Ninja Turtle. So I was in the mindset of you ate the Ninja Turtle pie, you ate the ooze that turned them into ninjas, and then you became a ninja. A fat and lazy ninja from all the pies, but a ninja nonetheless. And that's how stuff worked in the 90s.
Okay, so we got the new camera spot. We're gonna
Take my
That's not my mother.
bags of cabbages.
Cabbages are the devil.
So I want to do a cabbage of the devil, and then I want to have them attacking him and just scream.
Just the guy jumping out of the box.
Back demons!
I just want to panic back to Big Mac. No expressions. No change in his face. Just a slow pan forward as he listens to the scream.
Well, no, you could just add audio to him being like back demons, back. The power of Celestia compels you.
What's complicated?
What would be something that Cabbage wouldn't like? Like
vinegar? Because that's what you use to make them into sauerkraut.
Well, I don't know. I don't think of anything cliche enough.
Cabbages are the devil.
What is anti-cabbage?
Cabbages are the devil. Cabbages are the devil.
No, fire makes
Cabbages are the
better.
devil. Cabbages are the.
It makes them tastier.
You know what the best part is? I think.
You know, the best part is the fact that you had cabbage models just ready and ready
Take
to
my
go.
bags of cabbages.
Yeah? What's wrong with that?
I mean,
I have 45,000 models. Do you think that some cabbage is not going to be included in there?
it seems odd that you just have cabbage models lying around.
Yeah, I have like 3 different Big Mac models and a food.
Yeah, but that's important.
Not the horse.
Yeah, no, I know. Both important.
Cabbages are the devil.
Yes, sus, exactly.
Cabbages are the devil.
That's what the kids are. That's what
Cabbages
the
are
kids
the
say.
devil.
That your actions are sus.
Cabbages are the. Cabbages are the.
My son said they should not bring back lions.
Cabbages are
That was a bad idea. Like, let's throw these pointy spikes in the air.
Oh,
I hope they don't come down on anyone.
So his lip syncing is a little bit more difficult because I do not have a bone to close the mouth. He has actually significantly less bones to work from. So like if I increase lip bite, I actually increase teeth, and I have really no way to get rid of it.
I remember another 90s toy that I don't think exists anymore because it was probably dangerous. Do you remember the little rockets that you put water in and then you pump a bunch of pressure into the rocket and it just flies off into the sky? It was like a cheap little toy. I don't think you can get those anymore. And I can maybe I haven't seen them. I mean, maybe they're around, but if you can't, not say you can't, I just haven't seen them. I can kind of guess why. Because if a kid really tried hard enough, they could probably put a ton of pressure into that little rocket and cause it to pop. But,
well, yeah, we were talking about lawn darts on the podcast not long ago, too, about how, like, what the hell were they thinking with that?
Cabbages.
yeah. The worst thing with those little rockets is I kept getting on people's roofs. And you had to. I lived in a trailer park growing up, so we had those. And there was several times where we'd be like in our backyard, which was our neighbor's front yard, and the rocket would take off and then land on his roof, and we'd have to knock on his door to get our rocket back. It's like, sir, can you get a ladder? Our rocket is on your roof again.
This is kind of really bad model for lip syncing anything, because just there's certain options I like it to have, and this is missing a couple of them. There's probably an improved one, but I'm not going to go find it.
Cabbages are the devil.
So now we need a little bit of the pucker, but his pucker is probably going to be very bad. Oh my god, it is bad.
The devil.
I'm more concerned that Brayburn is wearing a leather vest. That is leather, right? Like, does anybody question that he's wearing a leather vest?
No, because he knows.
Is that like... It's like, I wear this leather vest. It's made from my best friend growing up.
Oh, Michael,
like, oh,
Michael,
no.
he heard you.
Oh, no. It's like, he knows. It's like, I wear the skin
Cabbages
of
are the-
other sapient
cabbages are
beings
the-
on my chest.
Cabbages are the devil.
Cabbages of the devil.
Devil.
All right, well,
devil.
I'm going to finish
devil.
my drink
Devil.
so we can get you more
Devil.
drink.
Devil. Devil. Devil.
I don't like you.
Devil. 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 Devil.
You murder
devil,
people and then wear them as clothing.
Devil. Devil. Devil.
He's definitely the murdering type.
It's like, I just love the like sudden zoom in. It's just
Devil.
Yeah.
Devil. Devil. They're the devil.
Like, I have to imagine that's a pretty controversial fashion statement in a horse world.
The devil.
I mean, it could be just a cloth vest, but it does look like leather. I mean, so does the hat for that matter, but I have to imagine the hats are cloth too. There's some sort of felt.
Cabbages are the devil. Cabbages are cabbages.
I finished my drink.
that's nifty. If only there was something you could do.
If only.
Yeah, go give me a beer. I have one left in there.
What when you put it like that?
Lets you, Gargify lets you try changing the slider range, set the minimum to a negative value. No, not for flexes. There is no remap. It doesn't let you do it.
Do you want me bringing this back to appear in it?
Nah, that's fine. No, you can do reslides on some sliders, but flex sliders that are on a model, no, because it has an A and a B point, and having a negative would imply that it knows what to do past those points. It has no idea what to do past those points. It's implying that it knows that line. It's not implying like seeing a line and trying to continue moving past it or in either direction. No, it only knows the beginning and the end. That's it. So it doesn't work that way, sadly. No, that would be nifty if you could.
Cabbages are the devil. Cabbages are the devil. The devil. The devil. Devil. Oh. Devil. The devil. Devil. The devil.
It can be done in Gmod, but mail change values. Yeah, it might work in some of those depending on the model, but not in here. No, it's not built for that.
Cabbages are the devil. Cabbages are the devil. Cabbages are the devil. Cabbages are the
Okay, so we're gonna have him go a little bit forward. Not too worried about the details on some of these motions because it doesn't matter.
cabbages are the devil.
Yes, that's the one. This should be the only one in there.
I like how the only cooking food we have in the fridge right now is a bunch of tiny sausages and plastic wrap.
Maybe.
Cabbages are the
Some leftovers. There's just Brussels sprouts. You didn't eat your vegetables.
Well, the weekends are your days.
Yeah. I got those tiny sausages.
cabbages are the
What are you gonna eat for dinner? Hors d'oeuvres.
Tiny sausages.
cabbages are the devil.
No, I have plans for those tiny sausages. I think
I would assume so.
I bought way too many. I don't think I needed to get 2 packs. He's tall. He will intimidate the cabbages.
Okay, a little bit forward there. It's probably taking way longer than this than I probably need
Cabbages
to.
are the devil.
But that's fine. It's fun.
Cool.
Well, hello, Simon, and thank you for the resub. I wave as well.
Yes.
Animated one too. 17 months. See, so many people with rainbow cups. You guys are all cool dudes.
Getting all
and
those
dudettes.
rainbows.
Yeah, they just like rainbow cups. Yeah, actually, I think the best part is the Michael emote.
No.
Yeah, it is. Like Jurassic, that's one of the reasons he gets the tier 3 on Twitch because he wants dolphin emote.
Dolphin?
Yeah.
I doubt anybody in your chat even knows who Dolphin is.
It is a very old meme from the fandom, or just, I guess, for myself.
It was fun.
I actually wanted to go back and I've been trying to come up with like little short things for Twitter, and I want to go and re-render that video where it's for High on Twilight Sparkle, but instead of having it end, have it just keep repeating her getting beat up, and just like so people think it's the video, and then it just goes for a minute straight. I need to do that soon.
I still love the fact that out of all the mods I've ever made,
Cabbages are the devil.
that I made while drunk in 2 hours is the one that got picked up by like big gaming YouTubers and shown off
Cabbages are the devil.
involving Dolphin.
Cabbages are the devil. Cabbages are the
I might actually see if I can pull him back here.
I actually had that one listed as my
Cabbages
Little
are the
Pony mod,
devil.
and it never got corrected or changed.
I kind of want to have him like lean forward for this.
I did
Cabbages
remember
are the
reading
devil.
it was like a picture, and it just had a picture of Twilight, and she was just saying, "Hi, I'm Twilight Sparkle," and I commented, "I'm like, I read that, but it
Cabbages are the
wasn't in
devil.
Twilight's voice."
Did you ever tell him about your ban on Twitter?
My ban on Twitter? Oh,
Cabbages are the
I mean,
devil.
that was weird.
But it's
I did
devil.
get banned on Twitter for a bit because he posted a picture.
Blaming me.
I am blaming you. He posted a picture of mild spoiler, Rainbow Dash fighting a dragon. Try to keep it as mild as possible. And it was from the story Australia.
Cabbages are the devil.
And a friend of ours reposted it saying
The
something
devil.
along the lines of he knows he'll be all right. She's going to go on to do amazing things. Who also read the story, and then I replied, "Yes,
Devil.
but she needs to die first."
Cabbages are the devil.
And Twitter's bots, I guess, because in the story things happen in reference to that. But Twitter's bots picked it up and just saw the words "yes, but she needs to die first," and they flagged it. And I tried to dispute it, being like, "No, I'm just referencing the story." And they're like, after careful review, we're banning your account for I was banned for like a couple days.
Yeah, it was just funny.
And it's
I
just
love
like-
careful review.
Yeah, I'm like, bull. Review nothing. But yeah, I don't. I was careful about typing stuff, but that one of the bots might flag, but it was
There we
silly.
go. After a careful review, those things are always bullcrap. Like I would sometimes send in a request for a video takedown on YouTube, and like say somebody copied the video, and I would send it in, and I would get a reply 2 minutes later saying, "After careful review, we removed the video." I'm like, nobody reviewed it in 2 minutes.
Yeah. No, I was essentially just
The
kind of me
devil.
referring to a character dying in a story that we read as a threat to the as a threat to someone, I guess. It got flagged under harassment. I was just like, what? Yeah, it was silly. Silly story. Silly Twitter.
Okay, yes, I thought it was doing the reverse mute thing. Okay, and so I'm gonna have him say that, and then we're gonna have these here cabbages.
Where'd you get those screams from?
TF2. I use them all the
No.
time. They're very girly and they're funny.
I just like the idea of him continuing to scream as you slowly pan in on Big Mac.
Well, no, I'm not going to do that. So one of my favorite jokes in or in memes, anything, are perfectly cut screams, and I find so.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
So I think it'd be funnier to do a girly scream
How they go right for his face.
because
It looks like he has some sort of horrible ailment that makes cabbages grow out your face.
but I'm realizing that by doing some of this, it's rotating, so I'm gonna have to be careful on how I blend this. Because if I blend without offset, it's going to be messy. So okay, and then we'll have Brayburn. Okay, he needs to be moved to like here. Okay, and the cabbages can be locked to his head at this point. It doesn't actually require me to not do that.
My family's prepping for the Super Bowl.
Why are they texting you about it?
They're family chat.
Family chat?
We have a family chat. Facebook.
So I'm gonna okay, so he's already back to his base position. That did not...
Gotta make them stick.
I know, but I didn't, I needed to have... I thought I did.
Gotta.
He's just putting his nose in there. He really likes the cabbages.
It's like when you do this with your hands, and then a kitty comes and puts their face in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best.
Oh, I did it to Big Mac, that's why. Wait, Big Mac. Okay, we'll do that again. Oops. Do that again. Okay. Now.
There you go.
Okay. And now he's going to... He's going to kind of go backwards a little bit. Because he's very scared. He's a very scared horse. This doesn't matter.
I'd be pretty terrified too if cabbages started trying to eat me. Just makes me think of that movie that I've never seen, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Everybody knows it, but nobody's seen it.
Yeah, I feel like that's the movie that everyone knows but nobody's seen. Have you seen it?
Nope.
Do you know of it?
I know of it.
There you go. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Is that an actual song from it?
Yeah.
Why do you know the song?
I don't know. I think it's just one of those things that you learn through, like, it simply existing.
Okay.
I think it's a really simple song. I think it's just Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Yeah.
Okay, and now I'm going to select all the cabbages. And before this point, it's definitely not going to actually work for this, but we're going to move them like... Oh, wait, I got to be careful on... Do that. Move them all over there. Okay, we'll worry about that. The details later. Let's start blending. Okay.
Please, sir, take my bags of cabbages.
Okay, we're going to grab some Big Mac. I don't need a Brayburn in this shot.
Well, that was short-lived. If accurate.
Agreement to acquire Ponyville Center Christmas Corgi events in their entirety, and the Charlie will return in convention chair. Ah,
Yeah, I heard something
and
about.
there was some stuff going on.
I heard something about corgi events, basically.
I thought Charlie ran Corgi events, but I think that was actually run by the other guy. So there must have been a fallout. I'm guessing that's why.
The guy from Corgi Events, as far as I didn't look into it much, but basically it was
Oh, what's his name?
oh, take the money and run situation.
Please, sir. Sir.
Well, I can kind of understand that if the sea conventions are like BronyCon, if you see things are hitting a peak and are on their way down, jump ship while you can. And I think that's why who's the guy that ran BronyCon originally? Josh?
I blame your fridge.
I thought it was Josh something.
I have no idea. I never paid attention that close.
I can't remember.
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
paint the ice.
I can't remember what's his name. Does anybody remember the name of the guy that used to run BronyCon? I cannot remember. Josh, I think it was Josh. That's gonna bug me. What's this scene?
Sir.
We're just doing some.
Sir.
I'm doing a stupid face response, and I'm just making a stupid.
Sir.
Because I'm having some fun just making really quick shorts.
Sir. 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 Please, sir.
Okay, we're gonna do some eye close. Is the good eye close? No, it's not. This is the good eye close.
Sir. 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 Please, sir. Sir.
Wide. Didn't have wide. I guess.
Sir.
You can always offset that by just increasing close a little bit.
Sir. Take my bag. Please, sir.
It kind of sounds like Charlie was trying to walk away from it a little bit, and then all this stuff happened, and then he came back.
I don't know about that. So, well,
That's
I
what
don't know. I like Charlie, but he also is a micromanager, and I know not everybody appreciates somebody that's doing some excessive micromanaging like he does. But he does a pretty good job from the outside. I don't know from the other side.
Yeah.
Sir. Please, sir. Sir.
But that's not up to me. That's why I keep out of politics for a lot of stuff like that. As long as they're at least making a good show for everybody else, it doesn't bother
As long
me.
as I have a place to meet up with my friends, and there's lots of ponies there, I'm happy. Wouldn't mind some,
Well, we could set up our own, like kind of like we have for other people of you setting up a small event for just friends to hang out.
I would like to see some new vendors.
That's hard though.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
really hard
that's
to get established in a community that has people that have established themselves as deeply as they have in this community.
You just end up seeing a lot of the same vendors over and over again, but when you've made friends with a lot of the people you've been
It's kind of nice.
giving vending space
kind
to,
of.
it is nice, and it's hard to tell them no because we want something. It's like, your stuff is good, but we want new stuff. And it's kind of hard to tell those people they can't vend anymore. But I've been to so many conventions at the point I've seen like most of what the vendors have to offer.
You still buy stuff.
Oh yeah. Of course. Vendors, I'm looking for a Scootaloo plush and a Luna plush and a Little Pip plush. Bring those to the cons. I want them.
Well, if you want to get a Little Pit plush, they have them, but you have to have a sponsorship
Yeah, because they go
they
like
sell
that.
out.
Little Pips are, would be nice to have. I got a Blackjack, but that's because they mass produced them for a little bit. Pink Eyes would be nice, or not Pink Eyes, Puppy Smiles would be nice,
Cabbages.
but with her not in the suit. I'm giving ideas to plushie artists to like bring to conventions so I can scrutinize them.
Take my bags of... Please, sir. Take my bags of...
Do you have a little bit plush?
Nope, I do not.
Knockoff unicorns are unappealing. Knockoff unicorns.
My bags of...
All generic pony plush and party hats. Yeah. The best pony merchandise is the stuff that's clearly has like My Little Pony pictures on it from the show, but it's like not My Little Pony merchandise. I think there's like going around like this
Sir, take my bags
My Little Horse merchandise that people are finding, which is amazing.
Take my bags of cabbages. Please, sir. Take my bags of cabbages. Take my bag. Take my bag. Take my bags of cabbages. Take my bags.
I need to hit up like some dollar stores and just see some of their horrible rip-off merchandise.
Please, sir. Take my bags of cabbages. My bags of...
I think AZG is working on strictly derpies right now.
He said he was like, that's all he's been good at doing, but I think that's just him.
Well, and I talked to him a little bit about it. He essentially bought crap tons of the gray and yellow material, so he has that and nothing else. He just has the stuff to make derpies. Lots and lots of derpies. And that cloth is expensive, so he's going to use it before he moves on to anything else. He's got like the puppy amalgamation.
I think his best creation has been the Chimera.
It's nightmare fuel.
It's great.
Made me so sad. Well, you made it worse by like having all the derpies being like, "Help me, Michael, help me." It was either you or someone who like created the scenario in which they're like all in pain and begging for help. Or maybe that was me in my like traumatized state. I can't remember.
Cabbages are the devil. Cabbages.
Pink Eyes isn't in her suit. She would. Well, no, she was like.
Cabbages are the
She didn't always have the suit. Like at the very beginning of the story, she was just a cute little
Cabbages are the devil.
filly horse.
Yeah, but that's not what the majority of the story was in regards to.
Yeah, but
Cabbages
I
are the
like her
devil.
better when she's like
The
happy and
devil.
healthy and you can boop her
Yeah,
nose
but then that's
without
not the
burning
puppy.
off.
That's not even the puppy smiles in the book. Then
It is from the beginning of the
The
book.
devil.
But then you just want small horse plush. You don't care.
You want puppy smiles.
The devil.
Why?
Before her mom stuff, sad story. Can't I just
Michael
have
wants to
some
destroy the
horse?
real story of Puppy Smiles. She had a life, and she had a really good
You mean
friend.
she had an afterlife?
She had a really good friend called Horse Tiles.
Yes, he was a count.
Count Horse Tiles.
Yes, there was a lot of him.
The devil. Devil.
My favorite part of the book is just them trying to figure out who the heck she was talking about.
That was a good book. It was short. I
It was
think it was short, and it was written from the perspective of somebody that wasn't paying attention. You had to really kind of glean some information from it as she went.
It was a good story. Like for I haven't read every Fall to Equestria story, but it was pretty
The
decent,
devil.
and it's not too long. You can probably finish it in a
Devil.
few days if you really just hammer it out. I feel like every book's gonna feel small after I finish Elstreo, or what there is of it.
Yep. You're gonna kind of lose motivation to read anything else because what's the point?
Is that what happened to you?
After I read that, I just kind of stopped caring about reading other fics. I don't think it was that story alone. It just at that point had moved past certain things. So
Devil.
I still want to read Past Sins. I do want to read that.
I have the physical copy.
And I do. I don't want. I'd get like gravy stains all over it if you lent it to me. So.
Yeah, even when you don't even eat gravy.
Yeah, where those gravy stains come from? There's no telling. No, I have physical copies of a lot of books, but I would never read them because I'd be worried about damaging them. When I can just read like the
I don't care about
digital copy.
Cabbages are the devil. Cabbages are the devil. Cabbages.
I think that having a physical copy of a book and not reading it is a waste of the book.
No.
I think it's just it's something satisfying about it.
You preserve it so that future generations will find it in some public library somewhere.
No, because future generations, if you're talking like 80 years from now, that thing's already
Yes.
gonna be like degrading. Have you seen the quality of paper in today's society?
No, it's gonna be found by some dude 100 years from now in some library stashed away, and he's gonna be reading it, and he's gonna be like,
This is somebody's thing.
"WTF is this?"
They're gonna be like, who the hell had this kink?
Is the future that we all dream about.
Devil. Cabbages are the devil. Devil.
Trying to hammer through Project Horizons. That's a pretty long one. I do have that
Cabbages
physical
are the
copy.
devil.
I do have a physical copy of Project Horizons. It is a lot. And I even got it signed. The first book is signed by the author. So, got to meet him. He seemed like a pretty chill dude.
Yeah, I went to one of his panels at Everfree.
Devil.
Yes.
Devil.
Now, I do remember borrowing a book, a Star Wars book years back. A friend at work, and I accidentally tore one of the pages while reading it, and I think it traumatized me a little bit. I was like, oh no. You're lagging again. Well, his kilobit rate didn't skyrocket this time, so.
No, but I did see there was a little bit of a drop at some point again, but not by much.
It'll work itself
Nope,
out.
it looks fine right now, but I'll have to look into what might be causing. I think there was an update that went through, and I think it just wanted to update. Like I haven't restarted the computer in a couple weeks, so I think I just need to do that.
Man, my computer's upstairs going rogue right now. Who knows?
Yeah, I see it did change, but only for like a couple seconds. Yeah, I'm thinking it was just there's some other stuff working in the background. If I had a slightly stronger processor in this computer, it would work better. The problem is because the RAID that I currently have set up is a software RAID, I'm kind of tied to that processor temporarily, and so I could swap it out, but like swapping motherboards would cause problems. I'm a little afraid to do that when everything's backed up on a RAID like that, so I need to find a different solution. I'm already like kind of topped off on my RAID. I had to clear out a bunch of data, like clearing out old stuff and other duplicate stuff that I could get rid of. But I'm going to be running an issue again where I have a 12 terabyte RAID. It's full. I need to expand it. But any solution to go, I was thinking about going to like 30 or something, because that would cover me for about 2.5 to 3 years. Yeah, that would cost me like $1,500.
I have a perfect plan for updating both of our
Cabbages are the
computers.
devil.
Or upgrading our computers.
Cabbages
Why?
are the devil.
Why to
Cabbages are
upgrade
the
the
devil.
computers? You just talked about why we need to upgrade the computers.
Devil.
Not your way.
No, my way's perfect. Look,
Okay, every time you say something, you're always so like unsure of something unless it's a joke. Then you're immensely sure about it.
no. See, we go to a coffee shop, right?
Oh god, that's already starting bad.
No, we go to a coffee shop, expect like one that's not a chain, but like a small local place, and we just sit there, and we wait for some dude to come in and start like rambling on about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency or some of that mess, like at length. Like this is just a guy who's like, oh, but hodl, dog coin.
Doggo coin?
Yeah.
I like doggo coin.
And then we follow this dude back to his place, and we just raid his like Bitcoin farm or whatever. And we're gonna be like, that's how you get rich. You don't buy Bitcoin, you beat up a guy who buys Bitcoin and you steal all of his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Quit playing. Has your method of like trying to like stake out Best Buy been working out?
Best Buy actually recently changed to where you need to have their insider thing before you can even purchase any graphics cards now, which is a $200 a year thing. Bullshit. Yeah, I'm not touching that anymore. I was on there last time. They dropped, but nobody was buying because nobody had the insider program. So they were just sitting there. And like the one stream I watched for stuff, he goes, so Best Buy dropped, and yeah, AMD beat them today because, you know, nobody can buy anything. So
you just have to make sure you have like a swoosh noise. The cabbages latch to his face. Nobody's gonna hold you like beating up like a super like hardcore Bitcoin guy who won't shut up about Bitcoin. Like nobody's gonna convict you for beating up that guy. It'll be fine. Use the bug bait hit sound from Half-Life 2. I like the idea of Half-Life 32 though. just it's been a decade since the last Half-Life, so we're just gonna skip to 32 because that's where we should be at this point. I like the idea of Half-Life 3 releasing on the N64 and only on the N64. Everybody would just be scrambling to find N64 so they could play it. That would be the funniest thing ever.
okay, so they need to hit and then stop, so I can't actually round the other side of that. Okay, they go a little fast.
Devil.
Okay, I think for the cabbages and everything, we're going to delay it a couple frames just to give it a little time.
The devil.
Well, they come in still a little quick then. Oh, I didn't even move them.
Devil.
The Last of Us, but ponies and cabbages. Yes, I'd play this game.
Half-Life 64.
Yes.
You got to do 3 first.
3's never happening.
My cabbages.
Like, if Half-Life 3 comes out and he calls it 3, I feel like that would be a sin at this point. Just be Half-Life Gordon.
They did Half-Life Alex.
Yeah, you can fit.
You got to do next one like Half-Life.
Kleiner.
No, Head Crab.
Lamar.
Yeah, they have like
Half-Life Lamar. You just play the head grab.
Yes. This whole traumatic life.
Cabbages are the devil. Devil.
Okay, we're gonna have him do a blink. Really quick blink. Like one less than that.
I'd say they should do a Half-Life Barney, but they've kind of already done that. It's called Blue
Yeah, they
Shift.
did. That's kind of where they introduced Barney.
Yes.
Devil. Devil.
The sequel to Half-Life needs to be an entire life or full life. Yes.
Devil.
Full life.
Full life consequences.
Yes. fight a giant game gnoll at the end.
All right, what sound effect should we have for the impact to head?
It's just like I just want like a swoosh sound.
Well, I need an impact sound. It's let's grab. I don't. Let's see what we grab. Oh, that does standard dialogue. I knew that was gonna crash.
Did it save?
Anytime I load up a library, I know to save it, and so I saved it.
Okay. So it say it.
Nope, I'm smart about that.
Half-Life Berry. Nice.
Berry?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna grab. Oh.
You want me to make the Half-Life, the cabbage hitting the sound effect? He's not gonna use it. Because that would be bad. What's the sound cabbage makes? That is the question for the century. What sound does cabbage make?
It sounds like a song. Remember, what was that? The Fox Say video? That was old.
Yes. Fox goes nee nee nee. That's what the fuck. What does the cabbage say? The cabbage says. That's the noise cabbage makes. So. It's the impact sound. It goes bloop. I did it. Good job. Thanks, me. Thank you, Alex. Alex liked it. You like my cabbage noises. No, Sunset, please. That's not a voice impression.
That's not I'll go slap Michael across the face and
You're
record
just
this.
trying to like pay points so that you can slap me. I feel like everybody's points will run out and I just end the day crying. Here, I'll slap myself. Here, so take off my glasses, like get close to the mic.
Actually hit yourself.
That was fun. Look.
No, now you're just trying to get attention like you're young again.
Yeah, I'm just like, Mommy, look, stab. I did it. I'm never doing that again. I don't want to make a habit out of it. It's fun.
You're probably used to doing it.
I don't feel things anymore. It's fine.
That's emotional. That's different.
It's perfect.
There we go.
Please, sir, take my bags of cabbages.
Cabbages are the devil.
Perfect.
Cabbages.
Okay, that did delete it a little too much.
Cabbages are the
Cabbages.
cabbages are the devil.
Still recovering from my depleted
Please,
points
sir,
of voice
take my
impressions.
bags of cabbages.
Yeah, that happens.
Cabbages are the devil.
Yeah,
We ate our beans.
Presso. That's for the nice slap. Well, if that's all it takes, I'll slap the shit out of it.
I give money for this? Bam.
I'm pretty sure that would be against Twitch terms and conditions of physical abuse for money. I'd be okay with it.
I'm thinking of starting a channel now.
Well, thank you very much, Luna Presso. That sounds delicious too. Coffee sounds really good right now. Gets banned. Half-Life 2 episode 2, part 2, act 2, scene 2. Getting there. Actually, there probably is something like that.
I know there's this whole guy who has a popular YouTube channel who just body slams
Cabbages are the-
things and hurts himself horribly in the process.
Cabbages are the devil.
Whatever you do, because it makes money.
Take my bags
YouTube's
of
okay
cabbages.
with it, so.
Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can if this is built for doing YouTube short.
Gonna make it a short. Something like this seems like it would do work. Like the shorts, doing it. Do you have to do it in the
You can upload anything of any length in the normal method, but if you do it as a short, it's considered to be under 60 seconds and it prioritizes it for a certain type of viewing content. But if I do it the other way, it doesn't, and it does it as normal method.
So, because even with cell phones, like you can turn them to the side.
Yeah, but that's not what people do. The one nice thing about it though is it separates normal animation from the quick stuff. So anything that I do like this, where I'm just like super rush, I can separate that and I can call them one thing or another. So, because I can have a short that is like 10 seconds long that I put time into, and that's fine. That's a different thing. But this is, I just rushed it, and then so there is a separation. So I like that for that.
As long as you put the proper whole thing on like Twitter.
Oh, I called it phone. No, I keep it just like it is. Yeah, because I'm not going to render it twice. Or I'm not going to do it twice. If you're building for vertical, it's not really going to work well in the same thing for horizontal. Like this, I built to be vertical. So, I had to saved it. I had loaded the audio library. I like how YouTube Shorts are a regular stream thing now. Well, no, it's more of why not? It's a way to get stuff on YouTube so that people don't think I'm just dead all the time.
He is dead.
I'm dead in here,
yeah.
But it'd be nice if I wasn't always considered dead out there too. It really doesn't bring in any new people or help the channel really in any way, but it's just something to put out. So, and has a little fun with doing it too. So, I think
well, you had two stupid faces.
Yeah, I did too.
So that's why this happened.
Yeah, so we made it a little longer one. So I just need to double check. Okay, so I can adjust the camera to move over to the side. Nice. When you render it, I can physically move the video over. So this is fine. I was mainly concerned about making sure that the cabbages popped up in the middle here. I think that might still could be used a little bit closer. So we'll move that a little bit closer. I'll just even.
This whole YouTube Shorts, it's like YouTube has already come to the conclusion that people are too lazy to turn their phone like this.
No, they're competing with TikTok.
Oh.
TikTok's vertical.
And TikTok has already decided that people are too...
No, it's because nobody cares. Everybody uses their phone like this, and if the phone is their primary device, then to them, that is the normal monitor. You're just old and you're used to a horizontal.
Hold their phone like this.
Yeah, but they're not going to want to switch back and forth. They're holding their phone like this, and then they're going to swipe through. And the shorts, the other thing too, is if you're browsing through shorts, is that you can swipe it and immediately starts the next video, where YouTube is about clicking stuff, and that's like a lot of work apparently.
Back in my day, we had to walk 15 miles to the snow to watch a YouTube video.
So I can After Effects the rest of the stuff with this, so I'm not too worried about that. I am a little bit concerned about Brayburn's eyes, where they kind of do this like weird blendy thing. Sometimes you can kind of see it. That doesn't look so hot, but we'll see. Yeah, where it does that. But it's whatever. He doesn't need eyes.
Who does?
And I turned off motion blur because I don't want that either. So we will disable the overlay and call it good. I will render that later. So,
you still have some of the stream left to work on the video.
Some of them I do. I just make something stupid. This time I felt like doing something. So, Braybird's eyes were injured by bearing witness to the devilish cabbages. They are. Well, also it depends. If it's something you state it sounds like it could be funny and it looks funny, then sure. But if it's just like something really, really stupid, then I'm just gonna say screw you.
I assume you were talking to me there. Yep. That's fine. I have no control over any of this.
I'm actually liking Pinky a little, like more and more at like in terms of her motion here.
Yeah, it is wibbly wobbly. I like it.
I think it's fine. I am going to let's see if I have her like kind of do like to that angle. I think that should be fine. So this is just about adding a teeny amount of detail here. So she goes and does her normal motion stuff right here. So we need to make sure that all the normal legs are locked. I probably I'll keep the back legs unlocked. So this is about nope, that thigh is locked. Okay. This is gonna be tough. Moving. I cannot physically move her body because you can see that there's just like a delay before it picks up. You can actually see in the bottom here that it takes a certain part and then suddenly it snaps in. That is because I have the fall offs. If I remove the fall offs, it actually would work fine. Just does not like doing fall offs. I just don't like blending with this because you're asking for problems with the timing on the legs, which means I am not going to do the thighs because I do not have to physically move the other one. I can move the pelvis now, but I'm gonna just give her a little bit of an up. Ooh, that hoof should still not be locked. Your right ball should not be.
I just realized it's a voice impression.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, Picklewar leaving the stream. And Oreo's milk, except it's an imposter, a changeling. So it's you, and you're a changeling, and then Derpy comes and boops the changeling and it reforms instantly. And I'm what's the voice impression? Am I supposed to act this out? Where I'm you, or am I Derpy, or am I the changeling?
I'm going off of how I normally see it, of if you don't know, you just improvise.
Okay. It's like...
What is that? There's a lot of weird noises.
I'm trying to figure out how to work this. He's like, yes. It's like, I'm gonna go get Oreos and milk. I'm Pika Wall. And like, poosh, I tricked you all. I don't want Oreos and milk at all. I'm a changeling. And then, that's what a changeling does. And then Derby's like, stop right there, changeling scum. And then she boops me in the nose. I'm like, I am now candy colored. You did it. I look like a Skittle. Got like a bunch of Skittles melted together into a single large Super Skittle.
Super Skittle.
And now I'm essentially a Skittle candy bar. The end. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I actually don't know what happened there.
I did the voice impression.
Does she look crazy enough?
Stuff right there, changeling scum. Yes.
You violated the law.
He got booped. As a Skittle candy bar.
Does Pinky look crazy enough though?
She looks pretty crazy. You've done.
She's just
done well.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Some good person right here. Awesome. Beaky Pie is a murderer. There's no real doubt about it. Like, she has an entire basement filled with files on everything about every person in town. How is that not something a crazy person does? Like, if I found out you had like a cabinet with information on all of our neighbors, kind of look on your face like, well, of course I do.
Not the neighbors.
Yes, but
Just don't look under M.
like, that is something a crazy person does. That is what Pinky does.
You know what crazy people do? They watch a show about horses.
Yeah, but that's like happy crazy, as opposed to I'm gonna murder everyone crazy. Like, her friends are like, you're super dedicated to making sure everybody's having fun, not Pinky. We need to have a talk. This isn't healthy behavior.
Well, maybe it is for her.
It's no, it's not good for anyone. Like, simply finding out that Rainbow Dash doesn't like pies drove her to near the point of, like, I'm pretty sure she was on the verge of killing Rainbow Dash. In that episode.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
she has the right to
murder.
what she doesn't like and whatnot. So she's fine. She doesn't like pie. She doesn't like pie.
I mean, that means she doesn't like.
You don't like life, and
Pinkie
you
Pie.
keep dealing with it.
Yeah, well, because I want to see what happens at the end. It's like watching a murder.
Good luck getting there.
It's like watching a murder mystery where everyone's dead at the end, but you still watch it because there's a fun story along the way.
People died.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
That's what a serial killer says.
Look, murder mysteries are fun.
I love it. You like retracting, like
Murder mysteries are fun.
maybe you're the one with all the information on my neighbors.
The only thing I know about our neighbors is that they exist, and you yelled at one of them once
Well, she was
That's
being
it.
stupid.
as well.
I have not seen or talked to her for God knows how long.
Yes.
She was complaining about noise, and yeah, and one of them was, I had no problem with it. You can complain about noise until one of them was unreasonable, and then I started pulling out the sarcasm, and she didn't like that.
Another quote has been added.
Oh, you can actually do math.random? Nice. Actually, I don't know if that worked or not. I think it just pulled a random. I think if you just do unders or exclamation quote, it just pulls a random one anyway. We murdered Michael and put him under the floorboards.
Apparently, I said that.
Like, yeah, that's the fun part. Well, I love how the way you say that doesn't imply who said what. I want to make sure that it's known that Michael's the one that does the murdering.
The fun part. Nah, it's better this way. That way they think you're the crazy one. Or at least we're both equal part crazy. Yes. People will know for sure now. Horse. It's funny with Valentine's Day, all the posts I've seen with people on Twitter just talking about, like, my date's Pinkie Pie, my date's Rainbow Dash. It's like,
Yeah,
say,
it's going to lead to a very sad day.
it's a sad day, anyway, no matter how you just try to spin it.
Why is it a sad day?
Because it just reminds you how lonely you are. I mean,
No,
what
it
else
doesn't.
would it be
You know
about?
what I do?
Buy yourself a box of chocolates
Some
and cry.
arbitrary day that people have set up as a method for those that are in a relationship to celebrate such. Other people then are sad about. You know what I do? don't give a shit.
You don't get a box of hot chocolate from your mom and then you eat it while you cry.
No, the only thing I care about
Figured everybody did that.
with Valentine's Day right now is that I'm low on coffee, and the local coffee place that I buy from normally puts coupons out on holidays, and I'm hoping this is a holiday. They do, so I can get it at a discount. That is the only reason I'm benefiting from the holiday. Otherwise, I don't care. I'm gonna do everything the exact same as I've always done it.
All right. I don't know the voice impression. Where I'm apparently supposed to say murder mysteries are fun because I love the look on their faces when they figure out they're next. I mean,
Well, you said it.
That is the look, right?
Well, you said it, so now I'm a little.
You're gonna be murdered. Like that. What are you doing? Yes.
Oh, I thought you were like doing your chest.
Yes. I'm gonna be murdered. I'm gonna be murdered.
You're very excited.
Yeah. I get very excited when you're about to be murdered. Like, oh boy, my end is near. I don't have to go to work tomorrow. That's the bonus of being murdered.
The benefit of being murdered.
You don't have to go to work in the morning.
Yeah, but you also can't look at any more pictures of Derpy.
What? That's not worth it. Wow. I certainly don't want to be murdered. I like that first step. That's a good first step. It's like almost proud.
That's why I was checking the timing on stuff. I was checking to see if I could. I can't change the timing of it now, but I was seeing if I could get her to do something like that. But normally, if you're gonna lift like that, you're gonna just redistribute body weight a little bit. So I'm gonna lock the two shoulders and the neck, and I'm gonna see if I can just churn the chest a little bit.
I drank a lot of liquids, so I will be right back.
It's the second time now.
Yes, but it was a lot of liquids.
Okay, so when her head goes down here, I'm gonna bring it down even more. Yeah, that works pretty good. And her eyes, I probably don't need to worry about them right now. Definitely need to go wider at the beginning here. And this does not have a down bit, so we're gonna put a little bit of, oh, that's a little too much there. That is good. And I'm probably gonna have, I could probably have her lean more into it. I think everything is still locked. So, like, ooh, that is still locked for the neck too. Remove that. And then I could probably, so when her hoof comes up here, between here and here, I can do the same thing. I'm gonna have her lift her leg up even more. Oh, that doesn't work so well when it's still locked. Oop, there we go.
He failed to get the Oreos like he said he was going to a few minutes ago. You're right.
So what you can change it so that the text appears white instead of the same colors you used to name at some point. In chat? I'm not sure on that actually. Hey Bess, yeah, I can't come in tomorrow because I'm going to get murdered. Yeah, stab. I'm positive. No, can't reschedule. Yeah, just tell him you tested positive.
For stab
You tested positive for stab wounds.
Yes.
But he doesn't need to know that. All he think is COVID and you're all good. You didn't lie.
I love that call. It's like, yeah, I'm calling in today. I'm not feeling real well. What's wrong? It's like, I got stabbed about 5 minutes ago. I'm bleeding all over the place. It's a real mess. I need to take the day off. Just like rub some dirt in it and get to work. Come on. Be fine. You almost got this scene done.
No, Rainbow's not even animated.
Talking about she's walking and everything. Look at that. That's perfect.
Yep, perfect.
Just little bouncies.
And I'm gonna have to add a little bit of stuff to Pinky for like some more mouth stuff mainly, because right now I want her to do the kind of crazy look, but yeah, but it's getting there. Pinky's the only one I'm really concerned about. All the other characters are normal animation. Pinky's one that always requires some extra finesse that I don't want to do. That I'm trying to figure out ways to get around it. Mainly coming up here for this part. This part right here, when she's like, this is probably gonna be the hardest shot I have to do out of all the shots. I might skip it for a little while because I know I can do it. It's just I like skipping to the hard, easier stuff so that I like jumping around.
So the other way with stuff. I have to get the hard stuff out of the way first. Then everything gets easier as you go.
Apples, darling. Books.
Yes, that's the best.
Darling, darling.
I like this one.
Books, books, books.
Books.
It's just books.
He's very excited.
Books,
about
books,
this.
books. Apples, darling. Books.
Well, they're all
Apples,
animated
darling.
right now.
Books.
Oh, that was the other thing. I know I did some cleanup on this shot.
Darling. Darling.
I
Books.
don't think I did anything for apples.
Apples, darling. Books.
I don't think you need to do it for apples.
Darling.
Her hair's not
darling.
locked. I have to lock her hair. I have to do her eyebrow. That's not done yet. I have to add any potential detail to the
Apples,
tail.
darling.
Probably don't need to though.
Apples, darling. Books. Apples, darling. Books. Darling. Books. Books. Books, books. Books, 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 books, books.
It's like
She's
she's
very
eating the
happy.
words.
Awesome.
Okay, we can see what we can do for Rambo today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get too far. At least I don't think I'm going to get to yellow territory for the video or the scene.
I thought about not going into work today, but then I remember my boss was like making hot dogs. So,
Why would you not go into work?
because the roads were like icy.
Awesome.
You going to call in?
I
Awesome.
was thinking about it. I was like out in the
Yeah, you got there fine.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
did, because it got better once I got to the highway. But it was a little rough up until then.
Well, yeah, side roads are always going to be worse. Freeways are going to be the best roads you get on.
Well, the thing was, all the snow melted,
Awesome.
and then all that water froze again.
Awesome.
So it was
Awesome.
ice. Like, snow is a pain to drive on, but
Awesome.
ice can be near suicidal if you put salt down. Luckily,
Well, that's only
highways
salt's
salt down.
Salt is only useful if it has time, though.
And it needs time. and the right temperature.
It needs time. That's why they put the sand down, if they have any down, because that'll at least give you grip on the ice,
The worst thing you can have is like a big melt or rain,
which we did.
and then have the temperature drop to like
Awesome.
10
Awesome.
or below that, like
Awesome.
overnight, because then it's gonna ice up, and salt's not gonna do anything. That is a worst case scenario, and that would definitely be a day like.
That's
yeah,
what we had
I'm
though.
calling in.
It is supposed to be negative overnight tonight, I think.
Yeah, but the roads are dry now.
No,
They're mostly dry.
there's still a lot of ice on them.
Yeah. Well, I ain't going anywhere this weekend.
Yeah, screw everybody else.
That's right. They went to I don't know what's going on this weekend.
Not for... Oh, we don't have anything tomorrow ourselves.
I know there keeps being talk of like a movie night.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's this weekend. Well, that was Kyle talking about it. I think he was the only one I've heard.
A couple of us were. No, Giz wants it to happen too, and I wouldn't mind it. And Denise was talking about it, so I know John had some ideas. I think people want it to happen, but we need to make plans.
I think that she's just going back to normal position, and I need to have her go to a little bit of a higher position.
Hey, where's your wing?
I think I hit it for some reason. I'll deal with that later.
A rainbow.
It's fine. She can fly him. She's just gonna go left a lot.
That's
Awesome.
I'm saying.
Awesome.
I feel like she's like an amputee.
Awesome. 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 Awesome.
Okay, so that should be fine. I'm gonna lock those back legs, so we don't get those moving. I want to have a little bit of the forward something or others.
Awesome. Awesome.
Cabbage stuff. Not the cabbage. I always thought that would be the weirdest part of like the Twilight situation with suddenly having wings. Like just suddenly having extra appendages. Like how does your brain even compensate for that?
Well, there's
Crazy.
people that have 6 fingers. They usually just remove the 6th one, but
Yeah.
they can have 6 fingers.
Yeah, but is that finger capable of moving independently, or is it tied into another finger? Like, if you have like an extra finger,
Ours
on
is
this
that way
side-
to a degree. So, certain aspects of our movements are tied, but they're not because of our brain function. They're because of just our ligaments are all tied together.
But like, if you have an extra finger, can your brain individually control it? Because I would think the brain would need to like know ahead of time that there are going to be nerves there to control that thing. So
Awesome.
I don't know. It's just a random thought I'm having. Like, if you were to suddenly have limbs, would your brain be able to compensate for them and use them? Or no?
Awesome.
These are important first questions for
Well, I'm thinking that being that anybody in... they're all of the same... They're all horse.
Yes.
And so that there has to be something in their DNA if they can all interbreed yet still have the genetic disposition for one or the other. So something in there has to allow it.
What, like, do Earth ponies just have, like, phantom limb syndrome then?
Awesome.
Like, they have everything that you're telling them they should have wings, and they can...
No, that's implying...
I feel my wings.
But that
You've
implies
never had wings.
that a Earth pony is only a Pegasus without wings and not its own thing.
I mean, if they have brains,
You sound like
capable of having
Freudian
both.
with like
I'm
penis and
trying to work out.
that's what it's
pony brains.
You're doing
here.
wing envy.
It's not wing envy. Like all ponies, like unicorns and Earth ponies, have like phantom limb syndrome.
Yeah, no, you're just doing some Freudian shit.
Awesome.
Like I feel like I
Awesome. Awesome.
See how this looks once actually done, but I'm not sure.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay, that does it. Okay.
Awesome. 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 Awesome.
The important thing to note, Sir Edward, is that all ponies have the genetic disposition for being adorable. except for stallions. They're gross.
Awesome! Awesome!
What's the dog doing? Hello,
Awesome!
Philip.
Awesome!
They are not, Sir
Awesome.
Edward. Don't lie to me.
Awesome!
They're nasty. I don't even know why they need to exist. Something about procreation, I don't know.
Awesome! Awesome!
Like you're like Rainbow. Here comes Michael.
Oh no!
Oh no. Hide the booper, and she's like, booper retract.
No! What have you done? Look what they done.
She's smelling the Michael.
No, it's a defense mechanism.
It knows.
Just, I love how there's just a bone to move the booper.
Oh no, it actually does come in handy.
Well, when you want them to do like little wiggly nose, do you ever make them do little wiggly nose? Yes, like that. Oh, too much. It's escaping now. No. Stallions are very huggable and pattable. Don't slander them like that.
Awesome!
So you got the biggest
Awesome.
booper.
She likes it.
Biggest
Awesome.
boopers.
Biggest boopus.
Yes.
Awesome!
Biggest boopers.
Awesome!
I got like super square snoots though, Sir Edward. It's weird.
Awesome!
Nobody's face should have that hard of an angle.
Awesome! 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 Awesome!
Awesome chaotix. What's she getting there? She's turning out okay.
Awesome! Awesome! Awesome!
I'm wondering if I should have her. Should I have her turn more? Like even more this way?
Awesome! Awesome!
No.
Awesome!
This is the newer models, yes.
Awesome! Awesome!
Nah.
Awesome!
He was talking about how he didn't like her hair as much. But
I didn't. It's more of I just didn't. A lot of it was I'm an old man and I don't want to
Well, it's
relearn certain flexes and stuff, so I just didn't want to bother.
wait, you were talking about like the color scheme of her hair.
Oh yeah, the color scheme also bothers me a lot.
It is the color scheme
Awesome.
for the Iki,
Awesome. Awesome.
Equestria Girls model or version. And I kind of think they just went with it for the
Well,
pony
the
version.
bother I had with it was, no, what was
It was
this
the
one?
green.
Oh yeah, it was the green right here.
You didn't like the green.
There's no green in the top. It's supposed to be the hot colors up top and the cool colors down
Yeah.
the neck, and it's not that way.
Well, that's the way it is on the EQG model.
Awesome!
Or the EQG version, so I think, I don't know. They just base it off that, I guess. Sometimes I wonder how ponies pick their nose. That's a very good question, but I imagine they just put a hoof on one on one nostril and below.
Awesome!
So, I mean, that's what I would do if I was a horse. Just boogers everywhere.
Where you would find yourself disgusting because you'd be a stallion. So we would just hate existence.
I mean, it would be no, but I still have all the cute other little horses around.
Awesome!
And
Awesome.
like, I would be desperate for them to like me, but fail miserably, and then I would be sad. Ah, fun stuff. Like rainbow birds.
Playing around with her.
Awesome! Awesome! Awesome!
I like
Lifting her.
Awesome!
ponies could still blow their nose.
I think it's better with the hoof lift.
Yes,
Awesome!
it's cute. It's cute The more
Awesome.
movement you put in them,
Yeah, that's what I'm
that's
looking
way,
for.
that's way.
Awesome.
Like the more life you give them, the cuter they
Awesome.
get. That's just a fact.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
You've
Awesome.
given a lot of life to Pinky and
Awesome.
here.
Awesome. Awesome.
I'm actually really happy with how Pinky turned out, especially this part. She's so fucking crazy, and I love it.
Yes. It's like, I got a kill today.
Oh, we can fix that.
Oop, and I crashed. Hopefully you didn't lose too much.
No, I just saved it just beforehand. Anytime I load a library, it's just all muscle memory. Save before you load a library. Like picture
cool.
frame on Pinky when she looks at RD. Yeah, it's a couple frames. Probably actually like 10 to 15. It's like a half a second. Kind of find it funny that I'm animating this one when I haven't even done one before it, but whatever. Okay, so
Wait. Why the knives? Those are sharp. That one looks especially sharp. We need new horse content. We need, I can't remember if it's March or May that the specials are supposed to come out. I didn't realize there's supposed to be 6 of them that are an hour long, though. That's not really so much specials as that's like the start of the series. Horse with a knife.
let's keep like this. Hey, just look at her.
She's like, I'm coming to murder. Rainbow Dash's like, oh no.
Awesome.
Stabbing Fluttershy.
Awesome.
She looks over too.
Yes, and Fluttershy's just like, whatever. I'm used to it. Stab, stab, stab. Oh, no. She's stabbing a better horse. Not that they're both good horses.
Awesome.
Why does she look so big?
She does look big. I think it's because she's just up
She's,
on a higher
she's
mountain. of
closer
dirt.
and slightly closer. Or closer.
Higher.
Awesome.
She stepped up.
Awesome. Awesome.
She's in pain.
Awesome.
I'm making cupcakes. That's horrifying. Looks like she got her knife stuck. She's scratching Rainbow's ear, yes. That is what's happening. I like that. Like how you don't have to change your expression at all for her to be properly crazy. Well, no, now she's mad. Yes. Sounds like Pac-Man. Pac-Man is a drug addict. He sees ghosts because he's hopped up on the drugs.
It's like Fluttershy.
I find this fascinating.
We do this every day. I know what I'm gonna do.
We're gonna need a new rainbow badge.
Can I be nice? I'm depressed.
that one robot chicken sketch where Barney's killing all the appliances because they're witnesses. Then there's just the turtle urinal. It was like, don't to stop him before he kills me.
It's going so fast it's slowing down. Okay, I'm gonna undo all that. You go back to just being normal, not scary Pinky. Okay, it's still looped there though. It's back to normal. She's not scary at all now.
Awesome! Awesome!
Awesome.
Awesome!
Oh no. Hate the pies, die by the pies. Oh, I can do the voice impression like, hate the pies, die by the pies. Like that was pretty good, right? It's like, how do you not like pies? Pies are just food.
Awesome!
It's delicious. Delicious pies. And she hates Pinkie Pie. She hates pies.
We're gonna do a little bit more of a smirk for her when she does that.
Awesome! Awesome!
Let's do like a little bit of a side glance smirk.
You just like giving ponies smirks now.
They are really fun.
They're cute is what they are. You know it. I like the cutes.
Awesome!
Kind of just that Snoop.
Look at that look.
That's a good look. Oh, that's she's so confident and cat. It's so good.
Awesome! Awesome!
Look at these two. Look at them go.
Awesome!
She's so cute.
Awesome!
I can't take my eyes off her.
Awesome! Awesome! Awesome!
So cute.
Awesome! Awesome!
That little smile, that knowing smile, like I'm cool and I know it.
Awesome! Awesome! Awesome!
I'm being overwhelmed with adorables. That smirk is so good.
Awesome!
Definite improvement.
Awesome! 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 Awesome!
Keep us there. Buzz.
Awesome!
Yeah.
Awesome!
It's amazing with just a little bit of with an
Character.
syncrasy. Having the two different size mismatch, it creates a ton of realism.
But you created some character, is what you did. You gave her a little bit more personality.
Well, then also, like, if you take the whole bit here across, and we say upper face, we're gonna go left side, raise this pinky.
Awesome!
Let's do upper face, no, mid face. Yeah, cheeks.
Awesome! 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 Awesome!
Because if everything goes to that side, you're gonna like if you're grinning to that side, you're gonna have your cheek go up a little bit more. So
Awesome. Awesome.
I'll probably blend that a little bit more so that she doesn't. She keeps the head tilt and the facial expressions a little longer, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Looks more, a little bit more feminine. Kind of. I think a lot of it is the show is doing. It was reusing assets to try to make them all look kind of same. The one nice thing about these models is they try to make them all feel different, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if Rainbow Dash had a triple or if
That's right. She always had the 3. And nothing more than that. That's the standard.
Yeah, because I know like a lot of these have the other ones have the ones that imply more feminine.
Yeah.
I think Applejack's probably the
3
same
lashes,
then, right?
Yeah. 3 lashes are pretty much the standard mare.
And then there's 9.
Eyelashes.
Darling.
Yeah. And she has a lot more.
Books.
It's like the idea that there's a certain look for ponies that's feminine, but it's all created by the show because, like,
Awesome. Books.
I always think of all these
Awesome.
these people who
Darling.
really like these ponies,
Books.
and like
Books.
in the past, like
Apples. Darling.
they
Books.
think unrealistic body images for women is like,
Awesome.
we can never aspire to this, and then it's just like, I like horses. It's like, no, this has gone too far. How can you compete with that?
She went to Derpy Peru.
Yes. Oh no.
She searched RD. Save search off. No, I did that with the async, the mix matching, and this one too.
Apples.
Yeah, it was cute.
To get it so that she would do. It's hard to tell right now because her frame rate's gonna be a little lower.
Apples.
But you can tell there's definitely a.
I feel like she's singing
like
behind a mountain right now.
Yeah, she is. She's definitely.
Apples.
But I like hers.
Apples.
It turned out pretty good.
A little bit of
Apples.
Spanish bubbles right there.
Darling. Apples.
Apples,
Apples. Darling. Books. Apples. Darling. Books.
It's starting out so
Books.
stupid.
I love it. It's great.
Awesome.
It's just. I'm just glad. Like, I want to put as much detail into all the characters as possible because it makes it make no sense why it has so much detail. I love it. I still love having this shot called all 5 together.
That's where Applejack's just like, you can see her snoot. That's the
Yeah, you can
important
see
part.
Applejack. She's in there. She's blending with the building. It's okay because you can
As
see
she
her
does.
emotions reflected in the cloud of darkness. I haven't put the colors in yet. So, anyways, we're going to be done now. Applejack needs a big mouth to consume apples at an optimal rate. Oh, it's a good thing, too, because she brought plenty.
Lots of Applejacks.
Darling. Apples.
Just the
Darling,
default
darling.
background.
Apples.
Everything's horrible.
Yeah, right there. She's
He's fine. Cozy Glow is fine. Like, it took all of them 10 minutes to dig her a grave.
I'm leaving that in there too.
Please do.
It's not moving. It's only going to be in there for that one shot, and then after that, it's going to be gone. With the implication of she died in that shot only. So,
Yeah.
anyways, we are done. We will be back tomorrow. Actually, we're going to be doing some Jackbox as we do our monthly one, second Saturday of every month. That will be tomorrow. And that starts at 7, so 1 hour later than normal start time. Let me see who else is streaming. Probably Fiora. See who else is. You know what? Hero Strain is actually doing. What is he doing? Is he doing some model stuff? He doesn't really do pony stuff anymore. He's doing Apple TV apparently. But we're not going to watch commercials because you don't need to watch commercials. Why doesn't he give me NFL stuff?
Super Bowl.
He does like some other stuff sometimes, but we can do a raid on somebody. I just want to see what he is up to. Otherwise, Jade Not for Broadcast. Oh, that's actually the name of a thing. Oh, he's doing some like anime girl stuff. Well, he's got some fancy animations. Look at that.
He does.
Oh, that may mean
And
he's
then
quitting soon.
He's a
So.
VTuber now.
Yeah, he is doing. But I know like Silver Cool sometimes he doesn't really pay attention to this chat. He's on the other one. So, If he's usually going into just chatting, it's probably because they're quitting soon. So let's jump over. We gotta jump over to Jay. Let's see what he's doing.
Not for broadcast.
Yeah, we can jump over to Jay. We haven't done him for a week or so. If you want some free channel points, stick around. Otherwise, we'll see you later.
Bye.
It's like a weird game. I remember, like, you're basically like a broadcast controller watching videos, trying to figure out what things go where. But I think it has some other backstory to it. Anyways, thank you for the cheers from Luna Presso, especially for the 1,000 bits. Thank you very much. For Gripstone Galaxy as well, and Sir Edward, and thank you for the resubs from Game Artisan, TV, Z, Luigi, and Simon H1. Let me actually hit the button here for like raiding the J.
Why? You gotta hit the button. I can't leave you yet.
Remember, he's mostly on YouTube, so we're gonna raid him on the Twitch side, and it confuses his YouTube viewers, which is also entertaining.
Yeah, because he decides to stream on both and then not combine the chats.
So, right. Yeah, let's all say censored when we enter. That's fine. I think, yeah, there's a censored button on there, right? Yeah, let's do that. See, everybody says censored in a weird something, whatever way. So, okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.